Hi again, everybody. Welcome to the high school football game of the week. I'm Jared Stewart alongside Josh Messerly and Marion Royster. Tonight, it's homecoming night at Fulton Field for the Lancaster Golden Gales as they host the Upper Arlington Golden Bears. Let's bring in Josh to talk about the Golden Bears. Now, Josh, if there's one game on their schedule that they've got circled over the last year, it's this one for the Golden Bears after how they lost last year to Lancaster.
Yeah, you lose on a two-point conversion with 6 seconds to go. That's going to stick in your craw all year, and the Bears have to have some extra motivation for tonight's game.
Let's bring in Marion to talk about Lancaster. Now, Coach Carpenter very happy with how his team played last week. To get off the schneid, they got that win at Newark over a rival, and they did it by getting back to the basics and running the football.
Yeah, and they're going to want to do that tonight. It's funny, though, this season is really shaping up to be eerily similar to last year. Started slow, but able to get a good win against Newark, as they did last week. But I'm sure if you'd asked Coach Carpenter before the season, he wouldn't want to start it that way. But now that he's in the midst of it, I'm sure he's going to want to pull off as many wins as he can like they did last season. But they've got some good things to build on. They're as deep at the skill positions as any team in the area, and they can do some good things the rest of the season.
It's the Personal Touch Party Rentals pregame show. We're glad you're with us. Stay tuned. The kickoff is coming up next between the Bears and the Gales right here on the high school football game of the week.
Hi, I'm Carol Whittington, and I would like to invite you to stop by Personal Touch Party Rentals and Events, located at 1540 Hubbard Drive in Lancaster. We are a small family-owned business and have been servicing the Central Ohio and Hocking Hills area since 2003. Graduations with a personal touch, weddings with a personal touch, corporate events with a personal touch. Please call us today for all your party rental needs, 740-689-6991.
There is no place like Lancaster, Ohio and Fairfield County, and like you, I am proud to call them home. As a longtime resident of Lancaster and graduate of Lancaster High School, this community is important to me, and I want to provide superior customer service, professionalism, integrity, and honesty at the Connor Insurance Agency. I am committed to supporting local programs and projects through my volunteer work and board membership with several organizations. It has been a great honor to work with all the first responders throughout Lancaster, Fairfield County, and the state of Ohio to put on Kids and Cops Day, to be a part of Shop with a Cop alongside the Lancaster Police Department and JFS, and to help Lancaster Public Education Foundation raise funds to support our local public schools and teachers. These men and women work hard to protect and support our community, and I would like to take this moment to say thank you for all they do. My goal as a business owner and insurance agent is to provide my clients with the most appropriate services and coverage for their needs at a competitive rate. As an independent agent, I have several carriers to choose from so I can customize your insurance coverage to fit your needs and desires. I strive to make sure there are no gaps in your coverage that could be harmful, and just as important, that you are not overinsured. I look forward to serving your insurance needs now and in the future. At Connor Insurance, we are here to serve you by protecting what is important to you. Please contact my office at 740-654-2848 for a full list of services and carriers, or visit my website, ConnorInsuranceAgency.com.
Imagine your possibilities at Ohio University Lancaster Pickerington. With over 250 majors to choose from, I get a great college education at half the price of other schools.
A lot of large campuses have huge class sizes where the professors don't even know you. At Ohio University, the classes are very small and the support you have is fantastic.
Campus life is awesome. There's always something to do between all the athletic events, student groups, and activities that you can always find your place in.
Welcome home.
Welcome home.
Welcome home to Ohio University Lancaster Pickerington.
IVP Sports presents the Buffalo Wild Wings High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Fairfield Medical Center, Ohio University Lancaster, Standing Stone Bank, North Body Shop, Dawn's Furniture, South Central Power, the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities, Fairfield National Bank, Jeffrey Wilson DDS, Matt Taylor Kia, Fairfield County Adam H., the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Parks, The Edwards Insurance Agency, Dagger Law, The Carriage Company, Connor Insurance Agency, Personal Touch Party Rentals and Events, The Huddle Tire Company, Fairfield Federal, Lines Auto Service, Sheridan Funeral Home, and Buckeye Lake Marina.
And we welcome you back to Fulton Field on the Personal Touch Party Rentals pregame show where the Lancaster Golden Gales and their homecoming 2019 hosting the Upper Arlington Golden Bears. Jared Stewart, Marion Royster up here in the press box. Down on the field, Josh Messerly. Let's bring Josh in right away. And Josh, you get this far into the season, week 5. We're the end of September. You're thinking, starting to get some fall weather, but no, not here in this part of Ohio. It is still hot. I bet down on the turf it's not feeling too good tonight.
A lot of humidity down here, so yeah, now the sun has started to go down. It's really not too bad. A nice breeze would be good, but other than that, a little unseasonably warm, but I think the players can deal with it. The same thing that they've been dealing with in practice all week.
Now, Marion, let's talk about this matchup between these two teams with our keys to the game. Tonight's keys to the game brought to you by North Body Shop, providing quality customer service, parts, and reliability. Since 1979, owner Mark North will provide you with a free written warranty on each estimate. That's Mark North of North Body Shop. He'll treat you right. Nothing secret about what these two teams want to do. They want to establish that run game, and when they do, look out. They're both very capable of reeling off a big one at any moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Both teams, again, it's almost funny. They're almost like mirror images of each other on the offensive side of the football. Both running a lot of triple option offense, and with that, it's very important to be disciplined. So both teams are going to need to be disciplined, making sure that you maintain your responsibilities on every play on defense to make sure that you don't let the offense rattle off one of those big chunk plays that'll really be a great thing for them.
Josh, you had a chance to talk to Coach Carpenter earlier tonight. What were his thoughts on this matchup tonight?
Much like we talked about in the open, that or at least maybe we talked about it off air, but either way, that he felt that this Upper Arlington team's not a traditional Upper Arlington team, that they were going to be more of an option base, and that makes a lot of sense. Coach Jeremy Scally, in his first year, came from Hilliard-Davidson, spent about a decade or so under Brian White, so we're going to see a lot of things that we would see out of Hilliard-Davidson, out of these Bears tonight. They're a little bit of a young team, but they like to run the ball, of course.
Talking about liking to run the football, last week Upper Arlington rushed for 347 yards total. Chris Schwiesthal had 17 carries, 136 yards, and a touchdown. That's 8 yards per carry. And Carson Gressa carried 20 times for 131 yards and a touchdown. That's 6.6 yards per carry. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's very good. And Schwiestal's really their workhorse. He's a guy that they're going to want to get involved early and often. Not only that, in their lone win this season against Belmont, he scored 4 touchdowns in that game. And again, is their leading rusher coming in, so he's a really nice player. They've got a lot of good, strong runners on that. So it's also going to be very important for them to win in the trenches, dominate the line of scrimmage as much as possible. They're not the most athletic team in the world, but they're a very strong team, they're a physical team, and they're going to want to use that to their advantage.
Now for Lancaster, in a 51-20 win last week over Newark, they definitely got that run game established. They had a total of 472 yards, 393 on the ground, and they had 3 guys mainly doing the bulk of the carries. Sage Hill, 12 carries, 113 yards and a touchdown, 9.4 per carry. Max Hamilton, 7 carries, 112 yards and a touchdown. And then Brock Thomas, 8 carries, 92 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Sure, of course. They're really going to want to establish the run. I think the first couple games of the season, they were maybe trying to tweak their offense a little bit, throw the ball a little bit more than they had in the past. And again, not that it was a complete failure, but certainly didn't have the success that they had wanted to have, that they've had in the past. So as you mentioned, they really wanted to get back to basics, went back to some of their original sets, some of just getting back to running the football, doing what they know well, and it paid off. I think they're going to try to continue that tonight. As we talked about in the pregame, they've got a variety of guys at the skill position that can carry the ball, led by Hill, George Sherrick. Max Hamilton's come on strong, playing a lot of different positions on the field. They've got a lot of things that they can do, and again, establishing the run is going to be the first thing to do.
Tonight's kickoff is brought to you by Sheridan Funeral Home. Sheridan Funeral Home is proud to be supporting high school football. They've been serving the communities of Lancaster and Fairfield County for over 100 years. It'll be the Upper Arlington Bears, Golden Bears, kicking off to Lancaster. Back deep, it'll be George Sherrick and Max Hamilton. And I'm glad you mentioned George Sherrick. He's a guy that, really kind of coming in unexpected this season, doing a great job out of the backfield for Lancaster. We saw him earlier in the season. You said you could tell he's kind of raw, but he's got the skills, and he has definitely gotten better every time out.
Yeah, 83 yards in that first football game that they had in the season, and he's really, I think got better as the season has gone on. As you said, a guy that hasn't played a lot of football up to this point, but, he's showing the ability with that raw physical talent to be able to be a force to be reckoned with for the Scales team.
Short kick will be taken by Sherrick and then out of bounds at the 23-yard line. So that's where the Gales will go on offense, led by Titan Johnson, the junior quarterback, 5'11", 160 pounds. Another guy that very little experience at the varsity level coming into the season, so he's coming into his own as well.
Right, yeah. But, he's gotten better. Again, that first game was kind of typical of what I'd hope that we see from Johnson, where, started a little slow, but got some, confidence behind him in that first game against Bishop Watterson. Really played well in the second half, and I think he's going to want to continue that tonight.
Here's Sage Hill up the middle. Gain of a couple on first down. Ball came loose, but it was after Hill had already hit the ground.
And Hill's been a nice surprise for this football team. It wasn't really used to getting a lot of carries previously, but, I think they found something last week against Newark. We're able to get him the ball a lot, so I think we'll continue to see him, carry the ball a lot, particularly up the middle, but they may, run some counters as well and get him involved wherever they can.
2nd down and 7 for the Gales. Sherrick in motion. Here's Hill once again going over that left guard, and he'll get 2 or 3 on 2nd down. Running behind Simon Voigt.
Yep, Voigt's, again, really good guy, big guy, 280 pounds, one of the several staples on that offensive line that Lancaster, wants to, really establish up front. Those guys, seniors and leaders on this team, and they're going to want to continue to get some push up front for these backs.
Big 3rd down right here, 3rd and 5 for the Gales in their first drive of the night. Johnson rolls out looking to pass. He's got his man down there. It's complete to number 6, Brock Thomas, and a 1st down and more for the Gales.
Great looking play there. Again, kind of reverse out there by Titan Johnson. Was able to, sprint out, beat the outside contain there for the Golden Bears team. And, Thomas just came wide open across the field. Here we'll see on the replay. Again, a lot of shifts in motion, keep those linebackers guessing, and as you can see, they look real confused on that play. Titan Johnson's able to find his man across the middle, 1st down for the Gales.
There's a Matt Taylor Kia of Lancaster replay. Johnson hands it off to Sherrick. We've got a flag on the play. Sherrick keeping those feet churning, gets all the way up near the 50. It's a good run, but it might be coming back. Get the call from the official here.
Block below the waist. Number 20 of the offense. 15-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Will replay 2nd down.
Tonight's officials sponsored by Don's Furniture and Mattress, located at 1118 East Main Street in Lancaster. Just barely caught the end of it, but that's a big one on Lancaster.
Yeah, it looked like it might have been a legal block on the Lancaster team, so not a good one. Again, you can't have plays like that, particularly in offense where they're trying to establish the run, and you get behind like that. Now you've got a 1st and 25, a long way to go. So you try to get a chunk play here on 1st down and be able to get it to where 2nd down you get a decent play and have a 3rd and reasonable.
Hamilton splits out to the near side. Johnson, look at the pass. He's looking for Hamilton and almost intercepted by Marco Landolfi.
Well, Landolfi did a really nice job of dropping into his coverage there. Just again, sometimes it's good to just follow your assignments, do what you're supposed to do, be in the right place. Whether or not you see the ball coming, the ball may just hit you in the back of the head, or in that case, he saw it at the last minute, able to get his hand up, deflect the ball there, and again leaves Lancaster in a 2nd and long here. They're going to have to do something here to get a big chunk play.
I want to bring in Josh after this play. We've talked a lot about the Lancaster run game. They are capable of passing, and they've got some weapons. However, one of those weapons on the sideline tonight injured as Sherrick takes the handoff, and he's going around left side, and that's a short gain. And Josh, Casey Fake not playing tonight. He's in street clothes on the sideline, suffered a bit of an injury, I believe, in last week's game, and that is a huge loss for Lancaster. They don't pass much, but when they do, he's a big weapon.
Certainly takes away their downfield threat. You know, teams a lot of times when Lancaster in the past of a downfield threat, they would roll up the safety, roll up the corner, help and run support, and without that threat tonight, we'll see if Upper Arlington.
3rd down and 20 for Lancaster. Clock rolls at 9:14 to play in the first quarter. Curtis Young splits out wide to the near side. Dominic Carpenter to the left side. Johnson gets a good block from Sherrick, but he didn't hold it long enough. And Johnson sacked in the backfield. Just kind of gave him a little tap instead of a nice hard block there.
Yeah, and that's probably something that Sherrick's not used to doing as far as pass blocking. Again, that's one of those nuances of the game that you really have to kind of pick up, as you play, as you get experience. Probably not the best position to have him in to be successful there, but, it's just one of those things, and they'll continue to work with him on that, and, they'll punt here and hope the defense can get a hold.
Shea Keithler back to receive it for Upper Arlington. Also back there, the man taking the punt, that is number 11, Sam Cannon. Cannon tried to get to the outside, and nice job defensively downfield for the Gales. That's number 21, Briston Poe.
Yeah, but, you've got the Bears here starting with a short field, getting the ball at their own 41. Yeah, we'll look here at the replay first and foremost. Yeah, and there's Sherrick there from the 3rd down, just, again, unable to establish that position.
Was that 32? That's Dino Gasaris, just a sophomore. He blew it up. No, it's 38. Zane Ritchie for the Golden Bears.
Yeah, he's a 5'11 senior. Great play there. Getting the rush, again, working through his first, line of defense and then getting through Sherrick as well to get the sack there for the Bears.
Quarterback for the Bears, Jacob Levy. He's a senior, 5'11", 178 pounds, and the option play is busted up right there by number 2, Owen Snyder.
Fantastic job by Snyder. He's had a great season on both sides of the ball. One of their mainstays on defense, and I think Levy did a nice job there by making the decision just to eat it, not try to make a pitch, make a bad play worse. You lose a couple yards, but at least you're still in good position there in 2nd down to try to continue to move the football.
Snyder, one of the captains on this Golden Gale team. He made his presence known right there with that sack. 2nd down and 12, 7:40 to play and counting here in the first quarter. Levy out of the shotgun. Gressick stands to his left. He'll get the handoff. Quick burst of speed right up the middle and a great run on 2nd down. How about the job of that offensive line right there? Open up a hole.
Great job by the offensive line. Again, that's definitely one of their strengths. And, again, running straight up the middle directly at that Lancaster front 4 is probably going to be what they do a lot of this game going forward. And Lancaster, again, we talked about it in the pregame, they've really got to be disciplined with, making sure no matter what set the Bears come out in, they're ready for, the dive man, the quarterback, the pitch play. Very important that they do that. If they don't do it again, you can have plays like you just saw.
3rd and 1 for the Golden Bears. Levy hands it off. No, he keeps it. A good decision right there, and he gets the 1st down. If he hands it off, it's stuffed.
Exactly.
But he made a nice call to pull it out and run it for himself and got the 1st down.
Yeah, he made the right read there because the defensive tackle crashed down, and he saw it immediately. Kudos there to Levy, again, because he pulled it right at the right time and just ran right off of the backside of that guard there as he cracked down on the tackle that split down. So able to, just wiggle through there for just 3 or 4 yards, enough to get him the 1st down, and they're moving the chains.
1st and 10 in Lancaster territory at the 44-yard line. Levy to pass. Got his man. That's Sam Cannon. Cannon still on his feet. Cannon to the 10 and finally brought down at the 7-yard line by number 4, Eli Rathburn.
Yeah, nice job by Cannon there. He's their go-to receiver, and he ran a really nice slant route on that play. Again, got the replay coming up. We'll see here. Did a really nice job, again, of pushing the corner, and as you'll see as he catches the ball here, catching the ball and then making the run after the catch. Yep. Again, nice route there, cut right in front of the defensive back. Finishes the run there. Gets the Bears down inside the 10, and they're in striking distance to put the 1st touchdown on the board.
1st and goal at the 7 for the Bears. And Coach Scally comes all the way down to the official at the 10-yard line to call a timeout here with 5:35 to play in the first quarter. Timeouts tonight are brought to you by Carriage Company, located at 1031 North Memorial Drive. Check out their website at carriagecompany.com.
We also want to thank tonight, we'll start with South Central Powers, who salutes all linemen. So we're proud to present our Lineman of the Week during the 2019 high school football season. Each week, we're spotlighting different linemen from South Central Power and a local high school team. So follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to see all of our great linemen. Profiles will also be available on southcentral.com. South Central Power, we're your hometown energy team.
Want to highlight some other games going on around the area tonight. Liberty Union is at Bexley. Circleville is at Bloom Carroll. Grove City at Canal Winchester. Pickerington North's got a tough one. They're at Dublin Kaufman. It is Bern Union at taking on Fairfield Christian, but that game, a home game for Fairfield Christian. Of course, they don't have a home field, so they're playing that at Millersport. Tays Valley is at Fairfield Union. Fisher Catholic with their 4-0 record and number 5 ranking in Division 4 is at Grove City Christian. Columbus Academy at Harvest Prep. Hilliard-Davidson at Pickerington Central. Groveport, they're on a roll this year, but they've got a tough one tonight at Olentangy Liberty. And Amanda Clear Creek is at Waverly. Fisher is on the board already. We have a score update, 7-0 with 6 minutes to go in the first up at Grove City Christian. On first down here, the Golden Bears off that right side of the line. And the ball's loose. Gales say they have it. Do they, Josh?
Looks like they do. There's a scrum going on down there.
And they do. Wow. That's big for Lancaster.
I thought for sure at the first there, the referees were going to blow that play dead because his momentum had been stopped.
Yeah,
but,
I thought so too.
Yeah, they continued to let him play, and Lancaster able to fish the ball out there. And we'll see here again on the replay. Yeah,
yeah,
okay,
there was.
Yeah, actually, it looks like it came out.
Look at Devin Pearson, 72, just dove in there, and he's the one that came out with it.
Yep. He just wanted it. Great job there.
Yeah. On the carry for the Gales, it's Brock Thomas. He took a hard hit. Second down and 8 for the Gales. 5:12 to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, Thomas, again, he was one of the many Gales that got on track last week against Newark, 92 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, he'll continue to keep that momentum going there.
Sherrick in motion. Here's Hill, and a great job defensively by Upper Arlington stuffing that run. It's going to bring up a 3rd and long.
Yeah, they have not moved an inch. Great job of the front 4 there by the Bears.
I think we've got a replay of that fumble. I think they froze it right when he was about to fumble or did fumble. We'll take a look here. Right in the middle of the screen, the running back there. And here comes the football. Wow,
there it is.
Somebody did a great job just punching it out.
It looks like maybe 18 there. Or 18, Jack Carpenter, not sure.
Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah, great job there. Great job by the guys in the truck.
Yep.
Fantastic job on the slow motion there.
On 3rd and 8, Titan Johnson back to pass. He's pressured, and he's going to be dropped inside the 5-yard line.
Yeah, unfortunately for Lancaster, they had most of their guys going on vertical long plays down the field, so they didn't have anyone over the middle there. So when Titan Johnson had to pull up early, he was not able to hit anyone on a short pattern that was ready in the middle of their route at that point in time. So a long developing play. Kudos again to Upper Arlington that was able to put pressure on Titan Johnson before he was able to get into his full drop, and they're going to force a punt.
Curtis Young back to punt. It'll be Sam Cannon back to receive it, and was that? Might have been tipped, but boy, nice job just to get it away. And here's Cannon, and the Bears are going to have great field position to start their second drive.
That was Matthew Weaver who got in there. I don't think he got a piece of it, but certainly got in the vision of Young and probably affected that punt.
Well, good concentration by Young just to get it away.
Yeah, just to get it off, yeah. They'll take a look at the replay there. Snaps a little high. That's okay. Does a nice job of catching the ball and getting it down. But, yeah, again, great job there.
Close.
Yeah, I mean, just got it off. but as Josh was saying, undoubtedly affected his concentration there and able to, just drop it right where he wanted to hit it clean off of his foot. So most likely caught the side of his foot there, not a great punt. And once again, Upper Arlington in fantastic field position.
Great camera work there by Tom Russo down on the field, and our graphics and replay guys in the truck, Donnie Ziegfeld and Shane Messina. Here's Levy keeping it himself. Not much there. Bring up a 2nd down and 9.
Guys,
by the way, tonight's replay is brought to you by Matt Taylor Kia of Lancaster. Check out matttaylorkia.com. Go ahead, Josh.
Sorry, Jared. I was just going to tell you, for both teams, it's probably like, a carbon copy of, when they play against each other's offense in practice, defense preparing this week, because the opponents run the same thing.
That's true. Different set here as they've got 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. With Gressick to the left of Levy. Levy will hand it off to Lucas Ark. And wow, what a hole there that opened up. And he's going untouched to the end zone. Touchdown Bears.
Untouched is right. Perfectly executed jet sweep. Just again, a perfect seal there by the left side of that Golden Bears offensive line. They really just, sealed that offense, the defensive front. We'll watch here on the replay there. Again, a great job on the perimeter as well there. Looked like it was I didn't catch the number, might have been 33, Carson Gresshock. But again, those are the nice ones. I'm sure Lucas Ark there will take those any day of the week. Untouched in the end zone. And Upper Arlington has first touchdown.
Extra point is up and good by number 92, Zach Yoakum. Not too often you see 3 kickers listed on a high school roster. Wow. But I tell you what, Yoakum definitely got a leg into that extra point there. The sophomore did. So the Golden Bears on the board first. They lead at 7-0 with 2:30 to play here in this first quarter. And field position is the name of the game. We're fortunate enough, sometimes unfortunate, but tonight we're fortunate enough to be up in the press box with the Golden Bears coaching staff. And one of the things that we heard them say when they had Lancaster pinned back the first time was, let's not rush the punt. We don't want to get a roughing penalty. Let's go ahead and play the field position game.
Right, yeah, that's the thing. I mean, we talk about, when you're able to start on, the other opponent's, on the opponent's side of the 50-yard line, let's just, increase the odds that your offense is able to get points on the board. So you definitely want to do that all the time. And for Lancaster, it just comes down to, I think, originally that illegal block play that they had that turned out to be a personal foul, 15 yards on first down, so they get a 1st and 25 instead of a 1st and 10. It's tough to recover from, and they've been playing catch-up on the opposite side of the football since.
I mean, they were up near midfield at that point.
Exactly. And that's all it takes sometimes, especially, again, a team which you're not used to taking big shots here, and here's a surprise kick they got.
Yeah, interesting kickoff there, and it goes out of bounds. So Lancaster will have good field position to start this drive.
Yeah, it looked like the kicker might hit a little stronger than he intended to. Sometimes you just want to get that sky kick that just droops over the first line of defense there for the receiving team, but hit a little bit too hard, bounced out of bounds. So now Lancaster, should have pretty good field position starting here at the 35.
Get our Don's Furniture Mattress call. They're going to make him tee it up and kick it again.
Oh.
So they'll move it back to the 35 now. Normally they kick from the 40.
And I believe the rule is you can either take it at the spot of the infraction +5, or you can make them re-kick.
And what that tells me is that Lancaster has a ton of faith in their return and that they can break a big play, and with good reason, because they've shown the ability to do that.
Yeah, Max Hamilton back there and George Sherrick, both of those guys capable of breaking one off. We'll see here. Yoakum to kick it. Two and a half minutes to play in the first quarter. Gales trail 7-0, as you see there on the scoreboard. They'll kick it away from Hamilton. Sherrick will take it at the 22. George out across the 30, and about a 10-yard return for George Sherrick and the Gales.
Great coverage there by the Bears. Again, didn't really let Sherrick get going at all. Moved up the field very, very quickly, able to fight off those blocks, and didn't get much of a return there, maybe 10, 15 yards tops. So something that could have gone extremely bad for the Bears actually ends up pretty good for them because Lancaster starts at the 32. They would have started at the 35 had they taken that penalty. So
1st and 10 Gales at the 32. trailing 7-0. Johnson was, I think that's Sage Hill behind him. Thomas in motion. It's Hill right up the middle. Hill across the 40 to the 45 and brought down finally at the 46-yard line. Great run by Sage Hill.
Great job by Sage Hill. And again, I think, again, going back to what we said, last week was really some, found gold there by the Gales football team. They fed Sage Hill, and he had such a good football game last week against Newark. They're going to want to continue, and you see they're there. It's just a quick hitter up the middle. Sage breaks through the first line of defense there and then runs through the first tackle. You always like to see that as a running back. Gets some yards after contact, and that's, I believe, Lancaster's biggest play of the evening.
In talking about Sage Hill, Coach Carpenter said he's not big. He's not necessarily the fastest guy, but he twists and turns and just somehow picks up yards. And one way is because he kept those feet moving right there. Wide open is Max Hamilton at the 36. Hamilton down the left sideline to the 10 and knocked out of bounds inside the 5-yard line. Great pitch and catch there from Johnson to Hamilton.
Yeah, and a great play call as well. Had a misdirection. Again, they had been sprinting Titan Johnson out to the formation side, the wide side of the field, but they just slipped Hamilton outside of the backfield on a wheel route. You see he's unaccounted for, wide open, and then makes a great move there at the end of the play there to get another 10, 15 yards.
Man, real good. And then he just kicked in the Jets there because he could have been down at the 30. There was a guy all over him right back at the 30.
Absolutely.
He just outran him.
Yeah, and he's got the speed to do that. And those are the plays that you like to get Titan Johnson. Nice, easy, guys running wide open, build his confidence up, just hit him on stride running down the sideline.
First and goal from the 7. Johnson rolling out to the near side, and not going to be anything there. I think actually might have lost a yard or two.
Yeah, Bears were all over that play. Again, they've run a lot of that sprint out there, boot action with Titan Johnson. It looks like they were ready for it there. But again, second and goal here. Lancaster's in a good position. And undoubtedly, they're probably going to try to ram it in there, running the ball, keep it on the ground, and see if the Bears are ready for it.
Hill behind Johnson. He's also got Owen Snyder and Brock Thomas out there. Snyder in motion, but we've got a whistle, and I think, yes, Lancaster will take a timeout. Timeouts tonight are being brought to you by the Carriage Company, located at 1031 North Memorial Drive. Check out their website at carriagecompany.com. We also want to say thanks to our first half scoreboard sponsor tonight, the Connor Insurance Agency. There's no place like Lancaster, Ohio, and Fairfield County. And like you, owner Shirley Connor is proud to call them home. Shirley will provide you with superior customer service, professionalism, integrity, and honesty. Learn more at ConnorInsuranceAgency.com. So 1:03 to play in the first quarter, and the Gales, after that nice big pass play from Titan Johnson to Max Hamilton, are within striking distance down inside the 10. And Josh, we talked about losing Casey Fink, but tell you what, Max Hamilton is a pretty darn good receiver himself, and with that speed, he's a weapon any place on the field.
He is. You got to get your playmakers involved early, and like seeing Hamilton getting involved, maybe seeing him with a jet sweep here on the goal line might be what Lancaster tries. Looks like they were going with their heavy personnel, though, usually what they call an Army package.
Yeah. Hey, I want to say thanks to our crew tonight. Our producer-director down on the truck, Bob Campetti. On graphics is Donnie Ziegfeld. On replays is Shane Messina. Our statistician, Beth Campetti. And our two camera guys tonight, Jimmy Spires, our top camera, and down on the field, Tom Russo, getting the job done tonight. Thanks to all of our Interface Video Productions crew for the fine work that they do each and every week. Johnson looking to pass. He's just going to tuck it and run, and gets down to about the 6. Just good coverage in the end zone by the Golden Bears.
Yeah, great coverage. They had one guy in the flat, really just a two-man route, one guy in the flat, and then they ran a guy up the seam on the play there. I think the first read of Johnson there was the seam guy, but he was covered, as was the flat. So really not a whole lot that he could do on that. Try to tuck it and run, get what he could get. But I was surprised to see them call a pass play there again. Sort of out of character there for Lancaster, right. But they're still, 3rd and 6 there, and we'll see. Looks like they've got a change.
Curtis Young, yeah. Curtis Young comes in at quarterback. Johnson comes to the sideline.
You gotta hurry up.
Young going to keep it himself. He dives inside the 5-yard line and down to about the 2. It'll bring up a 4th and goal from the 2, and that's going to be where we'll stand at the end of the first quarter. Josh, did it look to you, it almost looked like that was kind of a busted play. It looked like he meant to hand it off to Sage Hill.
Yeah, couldn't quite tell. There might be some miscommunication where anytime you're bringing in a quarterback cold off the bench like that, those things that can happen. Be interesting to see what they go with here. A couple plays ago when Young was split out wide to the left, looked like he had a chance on a slant, had lots of room. Wonder if Lancaster's coaches noticed that and maybe go back to that.
Yeah, we'll see here with 4th and goal from the 2. And Marion, it looked like he turned, and by the time he turned, Hill was already past him, so he just had to tuck it and run.
Yeah, and those are the things you see when you don't get a whole lot of reps. And, this may be a special package where they put Curtis Young in at the quarterback position. But, again, because he doesn't have the reps, he's not used to the timing that needs to be done, especially it's very intricate, if I could speak, timing that needs to be done on this triple option offense. You really got to, turn at the right time, have the ball ready when the back comes through. Looks like he might have just missed it. But, again, push forward for good yardage. Got him down to the 2-yard line, and Lancaster's here in a position here where they have to make a decision. Are they going to go for it or kick the field goal?
Man, got to give a shout out to that Upper Arlington Golden Bear marching band. Don't they sound good across the way?
Yeah, they always sound good to me.
Man.
I mean, they do such a nice job. So, yep, always good to hear the band.
Yeah.
Doing a great job tonight.
And, of course, the Golden Gales, the Lancaster Band of Gold, we'll see them at halftime. They've got their invitational coming up next Saturday, October 5th. Here we go, 2nd and goal, or the 4th and goal. Young again keeps it himself. He's fighting, and I don't know if he got it, Josh.
Just short.
Wow.
They're going to come in. The officials are talking. I think he was about 3 inches shy.
Yeah, good camera angle right down on it by Tom Russo. And, boy, big stand here. Watch this.
Yeah. Yeah, and he'll just reverse out again here. Follow his fullback, and kudos to Young. Again, hit in the backfield, but continues to power forward. Gets, 2, almost 3 yards there, almost to the goal line, just off sheer will and adrenaline. But, again, credit the Bears there. They came there at the last second when they needed to get him on the ground, force a turnover on downs, and not great field position, but I'm sure they're happy to get the stop there and get out of there with no points allowed.
Matthew Weaver, again, number 35, comes up big out of that linebacker spot for the Golden Bears. 1st and 10 at the 1-yard line. Handoff right up the middle. Gressick will pick up 1. Try to get a little bit more breathing room here.
And the funny thing, Jared, we had talked in the pregame and expected to see a lot of Chris Schwetzel, but he hasn't played tonight. So I'm not sure if there's an injury that he's dealing with or perhaps something else, but I haven't seen him on the field, number 2. So they've got a different – this would normally be his bread and butter there, running the ball up the middle there on these dive plays.
Devin Pearson was right there.
Yeah. Nice play there by the Gales there to get him on the ground.
Tell you what's tough, though, is when you're a defensive lineman, I mean, you're pretty much at a dead standstill, and that running back's got 5, sometimes more yards head start on you.
Yeah, and being able to deliver a blow at a dead standstill.
Sure.
Such a credit.
I believe Gressick again gets up across the 5 to about the 6. Bring up a 3rd down and 5 for the Golden Bears.
We talked about Schwetzel for Upper Arlington. I see him in uniform across the way. Doesn't appear to be anything that's hampering his ability to play tonight.
Yeah, he had a good game last week. 136 yards.
Right, 136 yards and a touchdown versus Westerville South, and really kept them in the game running hard.
Yeah.
So I'd be hard-pressed not to think that there may be some sort of injury, maybe not something that's, keeping him from dressing, but they want to hold him out.
Right. Levy pitches it, and a great job by the Gales defense. That's Max Hamilton dropping him all the way back near the goal line.
Great job by Hamilton. Fantastic read there that he was able to just sprint up there, recognize the play immediately. Again, that's good pre-work there. He sees the set here, and they run a lot of this out of the shotgun, bring him in motion. Hamilton recognizes, almost gets a safety there.
Yeah, you're right.
Does a great job of tripping him up, forcing the punt here. Heck of a play by Hamilton.
If you're a punter, you don't like to stand with your heels on the goal line to punt this one away, but that's what Garrick Junk is going to have to do. But how about the job of the long snapper? He's the one that's probably more nervous here.
Absolutely. Can't snap it over his head.
Junk gets the punt away. It's a short one. Hamilton will take it on a bounce at the 37-yard line, trying to get away, but he's not going to. Good job by the Golden Bears there. Number 30, Edward Schroeds, comes down to make the stop.
Really nice job. The long snapper there, getting up the field. Schroeds did a nice job not falling for the fake, sticking with Hamilton and not letting him break a big play there.
And Schroeds, you're right, he's listed as just the long snapper on their roster. And that is a job that is a very important one that guys can make lengthy NFL careers out of. In fact, a guy that went to my high school, Mike Bartram, spent 14 years in the NFL, played in 3 Super Bowls, went to the Pro Bowl as a long snapper.
Wow.
And now he's actually, for the last 5 years, he was the head coach at my alma mater, Meigs High School. Now he's back in the NFL as the tight ends coach for the Philadelphia Eagles, where he spent the majority of his time playing. And all he did was snap the football.
That's it. That's all you have to do. You know, a lot of times you see parents, getting a ball in their kid's hand, trying to get them to be a quarterback or something like that. Sometimes it's good to just teach them how to snap.
Yep.
You don't need a whole lot of athletic ability. Again, if you can snap the ball back there, get it back there quickly and accurately, as you said, you could, get a football scholarship or, play in the NFL.
Now, he did play tight end. In college, he went to Marshall, played tight end, and was a third, fourth string tight end in the NFL, and actually caught 3 or 4 touchdown passes. And some of the guys he caught passes from are big-name quarterbacks. Guys like Donovan McNabb, Tom Brady, guys like that. So
there you go.
On 2nd down and 10, again, a short gain. 3rd and 8 is what's coming up for the Gales.
Right now, the unsung heroes for Upper Arlington's that defensive line doing a good job of gumming it up and not letting the linemen get up to the second level.
Yeah, and Josh talked about it earlier, how important it is, when you see a team that's run the same offense that your team runs, again, it's almost like a mirror image, and a lot of these guys that play both ways, they know these reads, they know these plays, so they're ready for them, and the Bears are doing a great job of stopping up front tonight.
Johnson rolling to pass. He's got pressure, and he hits his up man. A good job, and then stretching out, trying to get the first down was Owen Snyder. But I tell you what, he might not have got the first down, but he got enough yards that now maybe it's an easier decision to maybe go for it here for the Gales.
Right, absolutely, yeah. Great desperation play there by Titan Johnson. As you can see here, he didn't get a whole lot of time. Again, that Gales front forward, breaking through there, number 76, providing pressure, and can't see the other
38,
number, 38, yeah. And that, again, is Zane Ritchie, doing a great job there of getting Titan Johnson in an uncomfortable position, making him get rid of the football ahead of the schedule when he wants to do so.
And 76 was Jake Pritchett, but Ritchie and Weaver, we've called their names a lot tonight. 4th and 2, Sage Hill up the middle, and he's got the first down. He was hit before the stick, but just sheer will got him that first down.
Yeah, that's all Hill there. Fantastic run. Again, running through that first contact there, so important for a running back, particularly a fullback in this offense. Again, because you're hitting those quick hitters there. He's going to take some contact early on. He's got to continue to keep those legs churning. Hill does such a great job of that. Was able to do it to the tune of a first down on that play.
1st and 10. At the 30, checked at the 27-yard line. Johnson rolls back to pass, and we've got a flag on the play.
Dead ball, illegal procedure, number 56 of the offense. Only first down.
Officials brought to you by Don's Furniture and Mattress, located at 1118 East Main Street in Lancaster. Our officials tonight, our referee is Mike Mulgrew, who you just heard from. The umpire is Alan Carpenter. Linesman is Bo Bollinger. Line judge is Greg Henning, and the back judge, John Carter Jr. It's a thankless job, isn't it? Wearing those
Officiating
stripes.
always is, yes.
Yeah. Here's a reverse. A nice job by the Gales that time, picking up positive yardage and getting back across the original line of scrimmage. It was Brock Thomas on the run.
Yep, double reverse there, a little trickery there from the Gales. And I think it's a great place for it there on the 1st and 15, to try to get a chunk play again to get back on schedule for 2nd down. A nice job of ball control also. It's very important when you're running, play where 1, 2, 3 guys touching the ball, handing it to one another. Great job there, and Thomas finished it off with a really nice run. Nice job there.
6:51 and counting. Johnson, quick hitter out to Max Hamilton as flags fly on both sides of the field.
Like there were 2 Gales in motion at the start of the snap there.
And the Bears might decline this play. Great.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, great defensive play there by Sean DuPont there, screaming up from his defensive back position.
After this call, we'll get you updated on some scores around the area.
illegal formation on the offense. Penalty is declined. It'll be third down.
Just got an update from Grove City Christian where Fisher Catholic leads at 21-0 at the end of the first. They just had our 82-yard run for a touchdown to end the first quarter. So they continue on a roll.
They're clicking on all cylinders, aren't they?
That two-headed monster in the backfield is really good for Fisher Catholic. And they have a big offensive line, too, for a Division VII school. They're looking good.
Yes, they do. Lancaster, as you just missed that play, just ran the exact same play. They ran it back with a handoff, to Hamilton and then to Thomas there. Not as successful as the first time, but still able to get some positive yards. But a fourth down coming up here for the Gales. We'll see what they do here.
4th and 6. 6:07 and counting here in the first quarter as Upper Arlington leads Lancaster 7-0. Christian Riley splits out to the right side. It's Max Hamilton and Curtis Young to the near side. Johnson looking to pass. Lofts one down inside the. Oh, wow. It went through the hands of the defensive man, Adam Cipriano, and Max Hamilton still had a shot, but it was a little bit behind him.
Yeah, and I hate to say it, I think on Monday, Titan Johnson's going to see that he had Curtis Young available in the flat there. Yeah.
Oh, you're right. You saw him right there.
He was wide open there. But still almost a great play off the tip. Hamilton almost comes down with it. But it's kind of, the old saying goes, for quarterbacks, you never go broke taking a profit.
True.
And he had Young there available for the first down, could have dumped it to him. But, I think he might have, got a little greedy there, saw Hamilton running, and he's made so many great, spectacular plays there long down the field. Decided to take a shot at it, but unfortunately for the Gales, didn't work out on that one.
Play clock down to 3. Snap taken at 2. Levy looking to pass. He's got pressure. Still looking. Great coverage downfield. And somehow getting through there was Liam Keithler, but the pass was just out of the reach of his outstretched hands.
Great looking incomplete pass by Levy there to scramble around in the backfield there, avoid a couple rushes, and delivered a very accurate football there. Just missed his receiver, but still a very nice play. We're watching on the replay. Great feet that he shows. Again, misses in the backfield there, sets his feet, delivers nearly a strike. Again, put it in the only place where the receiver could get to it without the defender making a play. Just missed on the outstretched arms.
2nd and 10. Here's a handoff to Gressick. And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line. Bring up a third down for the Bears. Other scores tonight, Pickerington Central leads Hilliard-Davidson 7-0. That game in the second quarter. Grove City and Canal Winchester tied up at 7. Olentangy Liberty leads Groveport Madison 14-0. It's Dublin Kaufman over Pickerington North 7-0 in the first. Harvest Prep in the second quarter leads Columbus Academy 20-0. Amanda Clear Creek having trouble with Waverly tonight, 21-6. They're down in the second quarter. We mentioned Fisher Catholic leads Grove City Christian 21-0 at the end of 1. A couple other scores coming up after this play. 3rd down and 6 for the Bears. Levy across the middle, wide open was Sam Cannon, and it's a foot race to the end zone, and they're not going to catch him. Touchdown, Golden Bears.
And the play action motion by Levy on that play is what made it work. Cannon ran a great route as he did on the first slant we saw that he took for a nice play, but again, the play action just had the linebackers completely frozen, including the safety as well. We're going to see here on the replay. Watch, he just rides it in there, and the safety just bites up on it. And Cannon's able to take it to the house. Again, great route there by Cannon.
So on to kick the extra point for the Golden Bears is number 92, Zach Yoakum. Kick is up, almost blocked by Max Hamilton, but Yoakum kicks it through to give the Golden Bears a 14-0 lead with 4:47 to play in the half. Taze Valley leads Fairfield Union 23-0 in the first quarter in the homecoming game at Fairfield Union. Listen to this score. Bloom Carroll in the first quarter all over Circleville, 28-0.
Wow.
It's Bexley over Liberty Union, 14-0 in the second quarter. Speaking of Bloom Carroll, we're going to see them and Amanda Clear Creek next week. That's going to be a fun one. out at the pit at Amanda Clear Creek.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's always a fun place to watch a football game. Josh and I had the pleasure to watch just a sensational game. Amanda Clear Creek pulled it out at the very last minute against Liberty Union a couple weeks ago. But Bloom Carroll, had a fantastic season last year, off to a really good start this year as well. But Amanda Clear Creek, that's a rivalry game, league play, so they're going to be ready to play. It's just going to be a really nice one to see, and can't wait for it.
Young fan there being held by Hallie Spangler, one of our the associate principal's daughter, who's a good athlete here at Lancaster High School. There's the drive summary. 3 plays, 77 yards, 101 off the clock, a 73-yard touchdown pass from Levy to Cannon.
Would have been neat to see one of those mile-per-hour trackers on Cannon.
Yeah, you're right.
Sometimes on the pro games.
He really
see how
kicked it
fast
in.
he was running, yeah. Great play.
Yoakum to kick it away. It'll be taken by Hamilton at the 20. Hamilton looking for the seam, and a good job on coverage by the Golden Bears. That's number 22. And there's Kuiper Lashutka.
And their special team play has been fantastic all night long. I mean, they've covered their kicks very well. Again, the couple punts that they've had, they've played those very well. Haven't let the Gales get a good return on the punt team or the kickoff team. Just a really nice job. Just a really sound football team, the Bears have been. Again, haven't gotten off to the best start. 1-3. They played a lot of good football teams. We talked about that. But they're a sound football team, and they're executing tonight, and they've had a lot of success thus far.
Curtis Young stays in at quarterback. He hands it off to Brock Thomas. Brock Thomas with a great run here across midfield and all the way down inside the 45-yard line.
And we talk about executing. That was a great job of execution by the Gales there. Again, great job. Everybody picked up their men as far as the blocking schemes. Everyone was accounted for, and Thomas was able to take that around the end and then made a nice cut up the middle of the field. Great chunk of yardage. And we'll watch here on the replay here.
Yeah, I guess at the end of the play here, the ball got taken away. Watch this. So it was taken away, but he was already down.
Yeah.
But a great job by Upper Arlington there, stripping it away. And back to live action on first down. The Gales with another nice run to pick up 9. It's now 2nd and 1 at the 34-yard line. Here's Hamilton. He's got the first down and more. Inside the 30, still on his feet. And inside the 20-yard line, Max Hamilton and a first down Gales.
And that's been a nice wrinkle that they've been able to use with Hamilton lining up in different sets, just not from out wide all the time. He's such a great athlete, so fast, so much speed. Line him up in the backfield, give him the ball in those sweeps. Josh was talking about the nice jet sweep that they have in their playbook there. He's able to get the ball there, get it to the outside. Another great play by the Gales. They've got a nice drive going here. Definitely want to try to punch it in the end zone before the end of the half here.
And even though Max isn't very big, he's hard to bring down. He's listed at 165, but that's got to be soaking wet and with all of his pads on.
Hey, nothing wrong with lying about a few pounds on your vitals there. I certainly was guilty of that in my day as well.
Hand off to Snyder. Snyder, another good run. Gales, seems like every down this series they're reeling off big chunks of yardage.
Yeah, and it looks like the offensive line there is getting a little bit of confidence as well. They're getting some push up front. They haven't had a lot of that again because this Upper Arlington front four has played so well. But now that they're able to get some push there, and the backs are getting it through those holes, they're doing a really nice job.
Whistle and a flag, and this has been hurting Lancaster all night. They'll get some drives going, and then a penalty will back them up.
Dead ball. False start. Number 6. 5-yard penalty. Remains 2nd down.
Guys, I spent a couple minutes watching Lancaster after the last offensive series. The coaches were trying to talk up how to block the defensive end that last series, and it looks like the defensive end for Upper Arlington is playing like a wider, almost maybe a 7 technique, and they're trying to figure out a way to block that defensive end. It's causing some problems.
Good point there. 2nd down and 9. Young stays in at quarterback. Couldn't tell if he kept it or handed it off there. Either way, not much of a gain. He did hand it off. It was Sage Hill on the carry. Give him a couple up to the 15 or 16-yard line.
Yeah, great piece of reporting there by Josh. It's interesting that he says that we really can't tell here from up in the booth, but that 7 technique, as opposed to being lined up just inside, as Josh was saying, can eliminate a lot of those jet sweeps and a lot of the quarterback keeps when they run that option. So it's very tough. Again, confuses the linemen just enough to where they're not able to get to the guys that they need to get to, and that's probably been a big reason why the Bears have been able to apply so much pressure in the backfield tonight.
Coach Carpenter going to let the play clock run down to 1 and take a timeout with 1:31 showing on the game clock here in the first half. I want to tell you about our halftime band show coming up. Tonight's halftime band show will be brought to you by Frank E. Smith Funeral Home, Crematory and Monuments. Family owned and operated since 1889. Check them out at funeralhome.com. The Frank E. Smith Funeral Home, respect for tradition, regard for change. Halftime band show will also be brought to you by Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan. When it comes to our customers and our community, we go above and beyond to help. Personal or business banking, whatever you need, we take it seriously because we know you do. The difference is clear. Fairfield Federal Savings and Loan specializes in banking that revolves around you. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. That's the halftime band show. Coming up in just a little over a minute and a half, we'll have the Lancaster Band of Gold. And I mentioned they're coming up on their invitational competition, which will be on October 5th, just a little over a week away. Always fun for them. And good shot of the Fulton Fanatics there on homecoming. What's that say? Your mom called. You left your game at home. Wow. They've got the sign game going tonight. They need to take this on the road to game day.
Maybe you ought to put that one down for a little bit.
Yeah, that's true.
Get a couple scores, then you can put that one back up.
That's true.
But it accomplished getting your own TV. So,
that's true.
3rd down and 8. Or 3rd down and 7 for the Gales. Young looking to pass, but lots of pressure. He just had to throw it away. He had a receiver out there, but he wasn't ready for the pass.
Yeah, great pressure again by the Bears, but again, just seems like the timing is just a little off with Young
Curtis
in the game.
Young,
And it just, again, it's just a repetition thing, and then that's an unfortunate thing again because you want to get guys as many as you can, but you only have so much practice time as we watch here on the replay. And again, it's hard to do anything with guys screaming down at you as the Bears have been doing all night long, but just tough there for the Gales.
Philip Slater on to kick a field goal. It'll be officially 33-yarder. It is up, and it is good. Philip Slater gets the Gales on the board with a 33-yard field goal. It'll make it 14-3 with 1:23 to play in the first half.
Fantastic kick there, and it's a nice weapon to have there when you have a kicker that can, with accuracy from that distance, be able to put it in there. So, Lancaster's on the board. They've got to feel good about that. Again, not the half that they would have liked. They had a couple cracks at it, unable to convert on the 4th down earlier on. But here we'll see the field goal again. Nice hold and snap, and a great job there. Nice job by Slater.
Yep.
Just getting it in, but certainly had plenty of leg.
Yep.
Very talented kicker.
So we'll see what the Gales can do here defensively. They need to get a stop. Keep in mind the Golden Bears will get the football to start the second half. So you want to get a stop, keep them off the board. It will be Slater to kick it off.
And am I mistaken, Jared? But it looks like they've got a monitor there on the sideline.
They do.
The Gales do.
Yes.
Wow, what an advantage there.
That's
How about
something new
Josh?
that they've started this year. They'll bring their offensive unit, their defensive unit over, and they'll rewind and watch plays that had just happened. Slater definitely puts a boot into this one. It'll be a touchback.
And Upper Arlington's got one of those monitors across the way underneath the canopy.
Yeah, you're right. They do, don't they?
Holy cow, yeah.
It's sad. I'm not that old, but just the amount of technology has changed since I was in high school. They got TVs on the sidelines now, iPads, all that stuff.
I was just going to say that, Josh. That just made me feel really old. When the high school teams have monitors, they're watching the replays on the sidelines. Next thing you know, they'll have iPads as well.
Yeah, you're right.
My goodness.
It's coming.
Yep.
1st and 10 for the Golden Bears. 1:23 to play. There's the scoring drive for Lancaster. 8 plays, 70 yards, 3:24 off the clock, a 33-yard field goal for Philip Slater. Lancaster calls a timeout on defense.
Yeah, they had 12 guys out there.
Yeah, you can't do that. Well, how about college football coming up tomorrow? The Buckeyes with quite possibly their, easily to say that it's their toughest test so far.
Yes. The Nebraska team that, starting Big Ten, well, actually not starting Big Ten play because they played Indiana just a couple weeks ago, but they've looked fantastic so far this season.
Yep.
And, there's been a lot of talk around town, I'm sure in the national media as well, as the Big Ten looks to be a bit down this year, but I would tell Buckeye fans out there, I wouldn't worry about that. If Ohio State takes care of business, goes undefeated through the regular season, they're going to be just fine. So whether the Big Ten's up, down, sideways, it's not going to matter for the Buckeyes. And they certainly look strong enough to compete for a national title so far this season.
And I believe our Bobcats off week this week, right? Is that correct? Or are they on the road?
You are right. I have to double check.
Yeah, I think they've got a bye week this week.
Yeah. These are things I should know. I apologize. I call myself a true Bobcat fan.
Levy on the option play pitches it out. A great move there by the running back. That's Chris Reynolds. And Reynolds on the move all the way up across midfield, still on his feet, stiff-arming all the way down to the 40-yard line.
Holy cow. What a run there by Reynolds.
It looked like he was going to be stopped in the backfield.
Yeah, and just stopped on a dime. That was almost Barry Sanders-esque there. I mean, just a fantastic run there. We'll watch on the replay. Gets the pitch.
Whoop, right there.
And stops right on a dime. Again, the awareness to know, and then again. And then cuts across the field. Fantastic job there. Also, nice job blocking downfield by the Bears there.
Man, he made some really good moves in that run.
They've got to get him the ball more.
You're
My
right.
goodness.
First and 10 Bears. Clock rolls at 46. Here's Gressick up the middle. He stood up right about the 36-yard line, and the Golden Bears will call a timeout with 40 seconds showing on the clock here in this second quarter.
Yeah, I'm sure that the Bears didn't plan on, having a chance here to score, with so little time left before the half. But, when you rip off a big chunk play like that, fantastic run by Reynolds. Now they're in striking distance, so we'll see what their play selection is from here on out to try to get this ball in the end zone before the end of the half.
Another scoring update, 28-0 Fisher Catholic over Grove City Christian. Still in the second quarter, 7 minutes to go until halftime.
For what it's worth for Upper Arlington, Yoakum, their kicker, was out in warm-ups kicking from the hash from the 32-yard line, so it'll be a 42-yard field goal. Look to be pretty good leg there.
Yeah, he's got a leg on him. Even on the extra points, he's booming it through.
Absolutely.
With ease.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, they've got 3 kickers on the roster. So for this kicker to be the starting kicker, he has to be pretty good to beat out 2 other guys.
Yep.
Usually, on a high school team, you're lucky if you have 1 solid kicker.
Right. Second down and 8. Golden Bears do have 1 more timeout left. Or no, check that. 2 timeouts left. Look at the score. It is 1. 1 timeout left for the Golden Bears. Levy to pass. Has it complete at the 30. And down to the 26-yard line. And I don't know if they're going to call it or they're going to run up and try to spike it down to 33 or 34 seconds.
Looks like they're going to spike it and try to pocket that timeout. Pretty
good decision there, yeah. Mm-hmm. In the high school game, that clock stops long enough to move the chains. So really, they only lost a handful of seconds there.
Right. And Levy's just done such a nice job tonight. Very accurate with the football and gets the ball out of his hands very quickly.
Yeah.
And a strong arm as well. So I've been very impressed with his delivery of the football tonight. Nice throw there as well. Converting a first down there for the Bears.
Second and 10 at the 26 with 29 seconds to play in the half. Wouldn't be surprised to see that slant to Cannon that they've run a couple times with success here.
He's out wide right here at the bottom of your screen.
Levy to pass, left side, complete, and still on his feet. This is 17, Liam Kiefler, and Kiefler all the way down inside the 10, and more importantly, he gets out of bounds.
Exactly, stops the clock there, so the Bears are able to maintain that timeout that they've been keeping in their back pocket. And now they'll be inside the 10-yard line here with a chance to take 4 cracks at it, 1 timeout. They're in real great position to be able to score here.
Carson Rainier comes limping off the field for the Golden Gales. He'll be replaced by Dalton Golden on that defensive line. First and goal. Levy rolling to pass. He's got a man wide open, but he underthrew him. Sam Cannon was open inside the 5.
Yeah, I think he just got excited there when he saw Cannon break open there in the flat and just tried to get him the ball a little bit too quickly. Looks like it might have slipped out of his hands, or again, just didn't really take the time to deliver an accurate throw.
Yeah, that doesn't happen a lot, does it?
No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. Because again, we've seen him really deliver the ball there tonight with great accuracy, but did miss on that one. But again, clock stops, so still in a good position to score.
2nd and goal at the 7. Levy going to hand off this time, and wow, stuffed at the line of scrimmage. Dalton Golden, who just came into the ball game on defense, stuffs that one. And Dalton plays the whole game on the offensive line. He's 6'2", 350. Watch him come here.
Yeah, we're looking at the replay here. Looks like Dalton just shoots the gap there.
Oh, this was the play before.
That's the play before. I beg your pardon. Yeah, again, had Cannon on the flat there and just missed him. Just threw it right in the dirt, right at his feet, unfortunately.
Checking some scores around the area. Pick Central all over Hilliard-Davidson now in the 2nd quarter. Here's the last play. Watch Golden right in the middle of the defensive line there. Wow, I just did a little swim move. Right. Boom, I'm getting you.
Great job there by Golden. Fantastic.
Well, I mean, here's the thing.
On the ground.
Carson Rainier, 5'10", 190 is who came out injured, and you replace him with 6 foot 350.
A little bit of difference there.
Yeah. Kent Winchester leads Grove City 21-7 in the 2nd quarter. It's Dublin Kaufman over Pickerington North, a close one, 7-6 in the 2nd. Groveport Madison, that score's wrong. Earlier we had a 14-0 score. Olentangy Liberty leading Groveport Madison. Now for some reason it's switched to 7-0 Groveport Madison with the lead. So we'll have to check that one. Yep. Harvest Prep leads Columbus Academy 27-7. It's Waverly over Amanda Clear Creek 28-13. As we get back to action here, 3rd down and goal. With only 2 seconds on the clock. They're going to kick a field goal. It'll be Yoakum out of the hold of 25. That's Shea Keithler. Good snap, good hold, and a good kick. And the Upper Arlington Golden Bears will take a 17-3 lead into the locker room at halftime here on homecoming night at Fulton Field. We're going to take a timeout. When we come back, we will have the halftime band show brought to you by Frank E. Smith Funeral Home and also Fairfield Federal Savings and Loans. Stay with us on the Buffalo Wild Wings High School Football Game of the Week.
IVP Sports presents the Buffalo Wild Wings High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Fairfield Medical Center, Ohio University Lancaster, Standing Stone Bank, North Body Shop, Dawn's Furniture, South Central Power, the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities, Fairfield National Bank, Jeffrey Wilson DDS, Matt Taylor Kia, Fairfield County Adam H., the Frank E. Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Parks, the Edwards Insurance Agency, Dagger Law, the Carriage Company, Cotter Insurance Agency, Personal Touch Party Rentals and Events, the Huddle Tire Company, Fairfield Federal, Lines Auto Service, Sheridan Funeral Home, and Buckeye Lake Marina.
We've got a great one for you. The Bloom Carroll Bulldogs. It was a great week of practice. Even in the rain and the weather, we had a great week of practice. Schneider, lots of running room to midfield. He's gone. Ryan Schneider down the near sideline for a touchdown for the Aces.
We have a hold on the offense, number 20. That penalty will be declined. They'll bring up 4th down.
We're going to give you this game ball here because you're a Tiberios fan of the game. And thanks for being here, Jacob.
Thank you.
The Polar Bears are your OAC tournament champions, first time since 2009. What an exciting finish for the Ohio Northern Polar Bears.
Be very proud of this trophy. You've earned it.
Come experience the Huddle Tire difference. Locally owned and operated since 1910, we're your independent tire and auto repair shop. We carry all major brands of tires, including Goodyear, Cooper, BF Goodrich, and many more. But we're more than just tires. From safety inspections to alignments, brakes, shocks, and struts, even preventive maintenance, we can handle it all. Enjoy the ride at Huddle Tire Company, 300 South Columbus Street, or we can be reached at our website at huddletire.com.
At Dagger Law, we have more than 110 years of combined expertise in nearly every part of law.
What I think sets us apart from any other law firm is our ability to work together.
With us, you're getting a trusted partner, in addition to a team who can help you with a growing business, changing family, planning your future, or dealing with land issues.
It's a challenge every day, and you meet an awful lot of nice people.
Your case matters. We'll take the time and the energy to ensure that you have a quality experience, quality representation.
Whatever you need, we have a lawyer who can help. Dagger Law. Local, trusted, experienced.
Hi, I'm Brandon. I'm a recovering addict. For 10 of the last 11 years, I've been struggling with addiction, homelessness, incarceration, and just loneliness. However, since getting clean this past year, I've accomplished more than I have in those 10 years combined. After attending outpatient counseling services, inpatient counseling services, living in a sober living house, and attending 12-step meetings, I've been able to regain control of my life and begin to achieve goals I've always dreamed of. Addiction can destroy lives in many ways. Whether you need help with childcare or financial assistance, everyone deserves a new beginning. Recovery supports are just that, supports for recovery. My life mattered. Your life matters too.
This message is brought to you by the Fairfield County Adam H. Board.
I was at work on Friday morning and I had a massive heart attack. They took me to Fairfield Medical Center where they had the cath lab and everything all set up and ready for me when I arrived. They had to shock me 3 times to bring me back, and they didn't give up. I was there for 12 days and I felt comfortable there. Everybody was just so kind and so nice. It was a great team, I can tell you. Wouldn't be for that team there, I wouldn't be alive today. Experience, Fairfield Medical Center.
My name is Ernest Elton Keaton, Ernie, 11th month, 15th day of 1947. I have a very interesting life. I worked for 51 years. It just come to me, what I wanted to do. Come a long way with all the pictures I've taken. I enjoy doing it to make people not sad, but happy, you know, and I have. I'm trying to do the best I can, be kind to people and everything, so I try my very best to do what's right and not wrong. It'd be a boring world if everybody did be everything. Same thing, same lights, you know. It'd be a boring world, I think.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's have another round of applause for your 2019 Band of Good. The band is under the direction of Mr. Benjamin Factor.
Win your 50-50 ticket. Get your 50-50 tickets out.
Welcome back to Fulton Field. Halftime score. Lancaster trails Upper Arlington 17-3. Jared Stewart alongside Marion Royster and Josh Messerly. The first half summary report brought to you by Fairfield County Parks, inviting you to Rock Mill weekends, Saturdays and Sundays until the end of October at Steepleton Park at Rock Mill in Lancaster. Tour the restored 1824 grist mill. And on the last Sunday of each month, see how milling was done over 100 years ago. Go down to the gorge or enjoy the stunning view from Rock Mill Covered Bridge. People come from all over the U.S. to see Rock Mill. Have you seen this fantastic piece of history in our own backyard? See FairfieldCountyParks.org for details. And as we get a look at those first half stats, you know, really it's 17-3, but it kind of felt like it was a little closer than that. Just a couple big plays for Upper Arlington.
Yeah, and, you know, Lancaster moved the ball very well, was able to, get in scoring position a couple times. We'll look here at the stats here, and that's representative on the yardage there, 89 yards rushing, 69 yard passing. So a little bit better continuity than they had the first couple weeks offensively, but wasn't able to convert it into scores, and Upper Arlington was. They were just really clicking on all cylinders, particularly a couple really big plays in the passing game we saw. Both teams have played a pretty clean game. Not a whole lot of penalties. Lancaster did have those two big turnovers. But again, Upper Arlington has just really executed on their side of the football, and that's really, shown on the scoreboard.
Those halftime stats brought to you by Dr. Jeffrey Wilson, DDS, with over 35 years of experience. Dr. Jeffrey Wilson and his staff are committed to providing the best dental services to their patients. Happy patients make perfect smiles, and Dr. Jeffrey Wilson and his staff will make sure your dental health and comfort is their top concern. Now accepting new patients, Dr. Wilson is currently located in Bremen, but will be expanding and bringing his years of service to Lancaster this fall. His office can be reached at 740-569-7563 to make an appointment. Let's go down to Josh Messerly on the sidelines.
We're coming out of the half, and he said really nothing surprised him about what Upper Arlington showed them. He was really disappointed with the way his team showed effort here in that first half, and asked him about the quarterback situation. He said they're going to bounce back and forth between Curtis Young and Titan Johnson.
Good comments there. Good job, Josh. And I tell you, that's one thing that you should never get beat on is attitude and effort.
Yeah, and that's not indicative of a Rob Carpenter-led football team.
Right.
And, he's going to want to do something about that. I'm sure he, let his team have it a little bit there in the halftime locker room, and let's see if they respond.
It'll be Upper Arlington coming out to start the second half with the football. I want to tell you that it is halftime here at Fulton, or halftime, and it's homecoming here at Fulton Field. And coming up between quarters, between the third and fourth, we hope to get an interview with the homecoming queen at Lancaster High School, Maddie Mowry. So we will check in down on the sidelines later on with Josh and Maddie. If Maddie's a cheerleader and she had to ask her coach permission, with hey, you can't beat that. That's good. A good job by her to make sure it's okay with her coach. As we've got, what was that flying in here, Marion?
Not sure. A big green bug just landed on my leg, but
everybody okay up there?
Yeah, we survived. We survived.
All right, good. Don't have a man down up there.
I thought Marion was swinging at me. I'm like, what are you doing? 2nd and 9, 11:27 to play in the third quarter. Levy sends his man in motion. He'll pitch it out. Coming to the near side is Chris Reynolds. Reynolds had that big run in that last drive of the first half that ended in a field goal, and he gets the start here in the second half. But a good job defensively by the Gales.
Yeah, and that's the second time they've ran that play. This is the second time that I recall them running that play where they've got the man split out wide, number 27, Lucas Ark. He might want to watch it there because there's a couple times he's been leaning towards his crackback block.
Yeah, I agree. I saw that.
Yeah, and he hasn't been called yet. I'm sure the Lancaster coaching staff would probably say something to the official about watching that on the next plays going forward.
Gales need this stop right here on 3rd down and 7. They trail it 17-3. It'd be big for them to get a stop and get the ball back early here in this third quarter. And we've got a whistle and a timeout already here in this first half. Our timeout's brought to you by the Carriage Company, located at 1031 North Memorial Drive. Check out their website at carriagecompany.com.
Also, just give a quick shout out to a couple of our other sponsors there, Jared. Ohio University, Lancaster, Pickerington, Fairfield DD, Huddle Tire, Dagger Law, and Lines Auto Service. Really appreciate all of those businesses, local businesses here supporting Interface Video and local high school football here in Fairfield County.
And you missed one, Marion Royster's Browns backers.
We're not as strong right now. We'll see what happens after this weekend. We play Baltimore.
What a tough stretch, though, for the Browns. Man, I tell you.
Yeah, it is. But they played pretty well last week, but not quite as well on offense, to put enough points on the board to win. But, hey, you're playing the Super Bowl runner-up, so, those things happen.
Out of the timeout, the Golden Bears face a 3rd down and 7, 10:31 to play in the third quarter. Levy out of the shotgun. He's got to his left. I believe that's Gressick. It is Gressick. He gets a nice block in, gives Levy plenty of time to look downfield. There's a flag down in the area of holding. We'll see what it is, but he does not get the first down on the run. Good defense by the Gales.
Great defense by the Gales there, especially prime pressure, and a great job by Levy just to avoid the pressure in the backfield to escape and not have a sack there, but all for naught. It looks like we'll have a penalty here as well.
Coaches are talking over whether they want to take the penalty or they resolve the play.
Yeah, I'm guessing they decline this.
Yes. It'll be 4th down and 6. Yeah, 4th and 6. Holding number 65 of the offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
Nice that we were able to hear that conversation there. He was telling Coach Carpenter, if you decline, it's 4th and 6, and if you take it, backs them up, taking an extra play. So a nice decision there by Coach Carpenter. Easy decision, really.
Yeah, the only one that makes sense. Again, you want to force a turnover on downs there, or not a turnover on downs, a punt by the Bears to get your offense back in gear. Get them the ball back. Hopefully Hamilton will have a decent return here. Give the Gales some nice field position to start.
Max Hamilton stands at his 43-yard line. A little bit shorter punt. Hamilton lets it go, waves his teammates away from it, and a good Upper Arlington roll all the way down inside the 35, and will finally be downed at about the 32, 33-yard line.
Yeah, a little pressure up there by Sam Fink as well. I think if he might have been just a split second earlier, he might have had a chance to get a hand on that or block the punt.
Our second half scoreboard tonight brought to you by Buckeye Lake Marina. If you're looking for a new boat, a great pre-owned watercraft, or a place to get parts for your boat, Buckeye Lake Marina has it all. Buckeye Lake is back and better than ever, and the gang of Buckeye Lake Marina looks forward to your support. 1st and 10 Gales, trailing at 17-3. Young staying in at quarterback here in the second half. He will hand it off to Brock Thomas. A short gain. I want to go down to Josh. We had a conversation in the down in the truck at halftime, and Josh, just talk about what we were all talking about the cadence, and when you switch quarterbacks in this type of offense, how difficult that really is.
Yeah, having played in this offense, from quarterback to quarterback, you send the wing back in motion. They call it red motion, and just by the way the quarterback says red, that can change your pace of the play. And when you change in the middle of a game, that can certainly slow your offense down until you get used to that new quarterback.
Good stuff there, Josh. On second down, a good run for the Gales. It was number 6, that's Brock Thomas with the first down run.
Yeah, timing certainly didn't look to be a problem on there. Great timing there. He turned around and Brock Thomas is right there to hand the football in the jet sweep. Very nice job coming out of the motion. And sometimes it's as simple as taking a practice in the locker room and hearing the cadence and everyone clapping on the time when the ball was to be snapped.
Young keeps it himself this time. Young breaks free, jumps over a defender, and gets all the way down inside the 40-yard line. Good run by Curtis Young.
And that's, Curtis Young there, he's a hard runner. We've seen that, and he's got a lot of good size there as well. So, that is an advantage that he has when he comes into the football game. They can run those power sweeps, those jet sweeps there, quarterback boot, and you see it there where just reverses out. Great run, great feet there to avoid a couple tackles there, and got Lancaster in business on the right side of the 50.
You saw it there on the Matt Taylor Kia replay, and here's George Sherrick going down near the 35. You mentioned the size of Curtis Young, 6'3", 215.
Right. He's a big boy. He's a big boy. So, you get a head of steam with him coming at you, and he may not make some guys miss like Hamilton or some of the other Gales there on offense, but he'll bring you everything that you want there, and better pack a lunch when you're coming to meet him in the hole.
Well, it's not too often you see a quarterback who plays on the other side at linebacker.
Exactly. Tough kid as well.
Here's
not
Sage Hill. Yeah,
tough.
You're right.
Young's got that, I'll say, Tim Tebow-esque kind of quality when he runs with the football just because of his size.
Yeah, great call. Very Tebow-esque.
3rd and 3 for the Gales at the 32-yard line. We've mentioned it seems like year in and year out how the Gales just seem to reload at running back, and they've got weapon after weapon. And here's the crazy thing, the amazing thing. A lot of times it's seniors that you haven't heard of. They'll come in and they'll do a great job. And that just goes to show that the program on down the line, as freshmen, JV, they do a great job preparing these guys as they come in as seniors, and they're able to do what they're doing here tonight.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And there's another one. We haven't called his name a lot tonight, George Sherrick, but, nice run there. And, again, almost an embarrassment of riches when you talk about ball carriers in Lancaster. And it's just a credit to this program, what Coach Carpenter is able to do to keep kids engaged at those younger ages, even as a sophomore and junior, maybe not playing a whole lot, but ready when they become seniors.
4th and 1, handoff to Sage Hill. He's got the first down.
And Hill again running hard. I continue to be impressed with him running after contact again, because that first guy through, it may look easy, but it's very difficult when as soon as you're taking the football, a lot of times you're being hit head on by some really big guys, particularly with Upper Arlington as well as they've played.
1st and 10, Lancaster. Young going to keep it himself. Ooh, wow, took a big hit at the 25 after about a 3-yard gain.
Pops right up. Almost got upended on that play, but again, a very, very strong run. Gets 3.5 yards. Great play for the Lancaster the offense when they're able to get that. Again, keeps them on schedule. 2nd and 7, you get another play like that, you've got 3rd and short, and that's exactly where you want to be.
Clock rolls at 6:47. Gales trail it 17-3, but they're on the move here. Knocking on the door of the red zone. Double handoff here. Here's Sherrick inside the 20. Sherrick looking for a block. Down inside the 10 to the 5, and finally brought down there. Nice run by George Sherrick.
Great run by Sherrick. I think he only had 1 carry in the first half. I may be mistaken, but he certainly didn't have very many. You've seen him get the ball 3 times on this drive. And what that does, and we'll watch here on the replay.
Well,
I'm sorry, this is the play before. Yep. Yeah, really tough hit there that Young took, but again, able to pop right back up. But Sherrick, again, he's got fresh legs.
Yep.
He didn't have a whole lot of carries in the first half. It's the nice thing about having such a deep skill position football team as Lancaster has.
Max Hamilton coming around, and he's brought down out of bounds. A nice tackle there by number 1, Sean DuPont.
Yeah, we'll watch the replay here again. Again, double handoff there in the middle there, and Sherrick just takes the ball, makes a great cut, And then strong running there at the end to get an extra 3-4 yards. Yeah, did a fantastic job.
Love the stiff arm he gave.
Yeah.
Fantastic. And the play we just watched there, unfortunately, a speed play on the outside to the short end of the field with Hamilton. A lot of fans sometimes say, why are they running the fast guy to the short end of the field? It's a matter, again, of angles and things like that, but reason why they do it makes sense.
Oh, man, Young looking to pass. He had his man open. His tight end was Christian Riley, but he overthrew him, but he had pressure.
Right, I believe that was number 38. Again, Zane Ritchie, we called his name a couple times here. Yeah, the Golden Bears.
So third down here for the Gales.
And he would have walked in the end zone on
Yes,
that last
he would
play.
have.
So great play there. Again, the receiver was uncovered, but the pressure was able to force that incompletion.
Whistles and flags before the play. This is going to be on the Gales.
Dead ball. False start. Number 28 of the offense. 5-yard penalty. Still third down.
Yeah, very unfortunate. It almost might be another one of those things, as Josh was saying, with the cadence there. You got a different quarterback in there. You've been working with one guy the longest time, and then just that little flinch, that little bit where you anticipate the ball being snapped. If you just miss there, they get you on a false start, and a tough play for Lancaster, and now they've got a 3rd and 12.
Young hands it off to Sage Hill right up the middle. Hill fighting for yardage, gets inside the 10. It'll bring up a 4th and goal from inside the 10. And they will kick the field goal. Philip Slater comes on. It's out of the hold of Curtis Young, so a fake is never out of the question.
That's right.
Kick is up, and it is good. So with 4:49 to play in the third quarter, the Gales, with another field goal from Philip Slater, makes it 17-6.
And you got to be careful if you're Lancaster. Again, let's first take a look at these computer rankings there, OHSAA Region 3 football. And you see there Lancaster, even at 1 and 2, still at the 14th spot there, and Upper Arlington right behind them at 1 and 3. So again, very, very good, important game for jockeying position when it comes to those computer rankings and those ever important playoff spots.
Well, and when you're in the OCC, it doesn't matter, at this point of the season, when you're down here, it doesn't really matter because you've got games coming up that can really jump you up if you can get some wins. Speaking of which, let's look at the schedules, the upcoming schedules for these two teams. As we can get that on the screen, you'll see that both of them have some pretty tough competition coming their way. There's Lancaster's upcoming games. Grove City should be a win. Gahanna, not a very good year so far, 0-4. But if you could pick Central, like they got them last year, pick North, Reynoldsburg, those can get you some points.
Absolutely, yeah. And again, but also in conjunction with that, you need to be careful of those Grove City and Gahanna teams.
Yeah.
Even Pickerington North as well. They may not have a good record now, but still strong programs that you can't stub your toe if you come in not ready to play.
Let's take a look at Upper Arlington's remaining schedule. At Westland next week, they've got Hilliard-Davidson, who right now is getting beat pretty bad. Marysville at Central Crossing, and Dublin Kaufman, who's number one I believe they're number one in the area right now. And not necessarily the computer points, but just got some local polls at 4-0.
Right. And I mean, this is really staggering when you look at this Upper Arlington schedule. I mean, you see a lot of 4-0 and 3-1 football teams. They have an extremely tough schedule. As if their conference schedule wasn't tough enough. When you play out of conference games like Winton Woods, Reynoldsburg, Westerville South, all those teams 4-0 still, that means a lot again. But you see they're a very good football team, and they've continued to do things and not get discouraged even by losing to great teams that they have thus far.
Gales will try to get another stop here. We've got 1st and 10 for Upper Arlington. Levy keeps it himself, gets out across the 25. Good run there on 1st down by the quarterback.
Good run and another great read. He's done a really nice job of that tonight. Really taking a hard look at that defensive tackle, showing where he goes, pulling the ball when he needs to pull it. and making the right decisions and getting his team in great position to move the football.
2nd down and 5, 4:20 to play and counting here in the third quarter. No secret what they're going to do. Everybody's bunched in tight. All 11 guys within about a 6-yard span there.
Double tight 3 backs.
Levy again keeps it himself, and he's up near the 30. Needs to get right to the 30 for a first down. I think he's about a yard shy. There's the scoring drive, or the scoring summary. 14 plays, 67 yards, 5:19 off the clock. It was a 27-yard field goal for Philip Slater, his second of the night, to give the Gales 3 more points and cut that deficit to 11.
Yeah, and it was a great kick by Slater. But again, I'm sure Lancaster, could have, they smelled 7, could have had that on the board. And it only takes one thing, that penalty that they have, unfortunately, pushes them back and makes it a little difficult to convert like they had there.
Levy again keeps it himself. Decides to tuck it and run, and not a very good decision there. It's going to be very close. Actually, I think he got it, but boy, I tell you, Cole Smith came in and gave him a hit, but Levy got the first down. He fell forward to get it.
Yeah, fortunate to get the first down there. Just that little bit of hesitation. He was a little indecisive on that one, as I was just talking about how he'd done such a great job of decision making, but he hesitated, and that almost cost him the first down, because I think if he just puts his foot in the ground and goes north immediately, as soon as he pulls the ball from the fullback there, the first man through, he's able to get that first down, but still gets it anyway, and they've moved the chains.
Josh, you were right down there on that one.
Yeah, it looked like he got it just by maybe half the football.
1st and 10 at the 31. Levy with the handoff coming around. It's Chris Reynolds, and a good run there on first down.
Carson
all the way up to the 40.
Sorry, Jared. Carson Rainier back in the ball game for Lancaster. Came out earlier in the first half. Trainers took a look at him, looked like he was okay, and got back in there.
Watch Reynolds on this run. Blocker not running fast enough, so get out of my way.
Again, a nice jet sweep action there by Upper Arlington. They've had some success there. I beg your pardon. Reynolds, done a great job of running the football, and he's going to get north, whether his guy's in his way, a Golden Gale's in his way, he's going to make it happen.
2nd and 1 at the 40-yard line. Levy drops back to pass, and he's got his man out there. It's caught at the 35, down inside the 20, finally brought down inside the 15-yard line. Nice catch and run by Liam Keithler.
Yeah, Keithler did just a regular old double move there. Had a stop on a hitch. The Lancaster defender there, a bit on the play, and he just went straight up the field again. You see here, and a nice throw, really just a dime there by Levy.
Yeah.
He just continues to do such a nice job, placing the ball with accuracy. Delivering the ball where it needs to be, and a great play call. Again, a good position to take a shot like that with the double move, and they were able to convert a big play there.
That's another Matt Taylor Kia replay. Check them out at matttaylorkia.com. 1st and 10. They can get a first down right about the 2. That same play again. Coming around the end is Chris Reynolds. And he's out of bounds, close to the 5. Clock stopped at 1:08. No, they're going to roll the clock. I thought he got out of bounds. Maybe not.
I thought he did too.
It's down inside of a minute to play in the third. 17-6, as you see on the Buckeye Lake Marina scoreboard.
Yeah, Lancaster's really got to tighten up here. Score here in the end zone could really be a bad thing here for them. They've got to try to hold them to 3 here.
Gressick stands to the left of Levy. I don't think Gressick has touched the football this half, but he does here. And he stood up right about the 5, leading the charge. Carson Rainier, and also that was Curtis Young.
Yep.
As I mentioned earlier, your quarterback playing linebacker.
Super tough kid, and credit to the interior line and linebackers of Lancaster thus far. One of the places that the Golden Bears have not had a whole lot of success tonight is right up the middle on those quick hitter dive plays. Been able to do a really nice job of stopping that. If they could do a good job of stopping those jet sweeps and those big plays in the passing game as well, they'd be a lot better off.
That's the end of the third quarter with the Golden Bears leading at 17-6. They face a 3rd down and 4. They can get the first down right about the 2-yard line.
Well, with the turn of the quarter here, Jerry, let's take a second to thank another one of our sponsors here. Thanks to Standing Stone National Bank. Whether you're ready to tackle a mortgage loan or need cash for some home improvements, make Standing Stone Bank the key player in your home or business financial plans. Business to business, neighbor to neighbor. Let's grow this town together. Standing Stone Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
And as we said at the break between 3rd and 4th quarter, we've got a special guest on the sideline with Josh Messerly. It's the homecoming queen. Josh, take it away.
That's right, guys. Thanks. Down here with Maddie Mallory, the homecoming queen of Lancaster High School. Maddie, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
What was your reaction when you found out that you were homecoming queen?
Oh my gosh, I was so honored, and I felt this overwhelming just feeling of love for my peers and my family. It was a really special moment for me, for sure.
Have a busy night for you, of course. You're cheering on the sideline and homecoming queen.
Yes, double duty. I've had such a long day, but I love being a Gale, so it's all worth it to me.
Speaking of being a Gale, what are some of the activities you're involved in at Lancaster High School?
Well, I am a varsity cheerleader for football and basketball, and that has been my passion since the 6th grade, so we love it.
And what are some of your favorite classes at Lancaster High School?
You know, a favorite class of mine that I didn't really think that I would be that interested in was psychology. So I really, really like psych.
We'll go up to Jared for a quick second. We just had a play there.
Got a touchdown for Upper Arlington. And Josh, you need to ask her who her favorite freshman teacher was.
And we want to know, who is your favorite freshman teacher?
My favorite freshman teacher. Jared Stewart.
Of course. Of course. You want to say something to him up there?
Yes, I miss you, and I loved your class.
Awesome.
I love you.
Thank you, Maddie.
He can't give you any extra credit now. One final question. What are your plans after high school?
My plans, I really want to attend Capital University to major in nursing. I'm so excited for it.
You'll be a great nurse. Congratulations on being homecoming queen.
Thank you so much for having me.
That's Maddie Mallory, the Lancaster homecoming queen, guys.
Thank you, Josh, and thank you, Maddie. That is there's no better representation of Lancaster High School, and no better person to be homecoming queen than Maddie Mallory. As you can see there, look at that personality.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I mean, just genuine excitement there from Maddie. It's just you could just see it oozing out of the camera there. You know, she's just so happy to be here and be a member of this high school. Just a great job. As we watch here the replay.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Levy, man.
What a move there by Levy. My goodness. And this kid is he's showing us the entire package tonight. Throwing the ball very well and running is also.
Is that how Marion ran for the Bobcats?
Maybe. I don't know if I had some moves like that, but I certainly have an appreciation for Levy. He's doing a great job tonight.
So with that touchdown and extra point, the Golden Bears take a 24-6 lead here early in the fourth quarter. But tell you what, it's going to be tough to it's not really a quick score offense that Lancaster runs unless they can get some big plays put together. Max Hamilton will take the kickoff at the 25. Hamilton hip across the 40, and that's a good start.
Very good start. And something they need. Again, field position has plagued the Gales tonight, but nice return there by Hamilton. So he was able to get them in some decent field position, and hopefully they can get some momentum going here to start this drive.
Check some scores from around the area. Olentangy Liberty leads Groveport Madison in the third quarter, 21-7. Pick Central all over Hilliard-Davidson, 28-0 in the third quarter.
Wow.
Canal Winchester over Grove City at halftime, 24-7. It's Harvest Prep over Columbus Academy, 27-10 at halftime. Dublin Kaufman leads Pickerington North, 21-16. North has pulled a little bit closer in that one in the third. And we'll get to more scores after this play. Curtis Young rolling out to the near side and overthrows his intended receiver. That's the tight end. He's been open a couple times tonight, Christian Riley.
Yeah.
Waverly leads Amanda Clear Creek in the third quarter all over them, 41-13. Fisher Catholic will have a running clock again as they lead 35-0 over Grove City Christian. That game in the third quarter. And it's Bexley over Liberty Union, 14-6. Taze Valley leads Fairfield Union 40-0 in the fourth quarter. And Bloom Carroll all over Circleville, 49-6 in the fourth quarter.
Wow.
8 plays, 80 yards, 4:54 off the clock, a 6-yard touchdown run for the quarterback, Levy, for Upper Arlington to give them, wow, look at that pitch right at the last second from Curtis Young. Boy, he was almost down. Would he be considered in the grasp there?
Well, yeah. If this were the NFL, he definitely would have been considered in the grasp. But nice job there as he's able to make the pitch there at the last minute. And again, credit to the pitch man as well to stay with him and keep that right pitch relationship. That's very difficult to do. Yeah, and you see, that's Brock Thomas here. It just stays with him.
Wow.
And pitches it right before the knee hits the ground. Great job there.
And it gave him a first down.
It did. Great job. Nice job there, but Thomas, again, being ready and keeping that pitch relationship.
Titan Johnson back in a quarterback for the Gales. He will hand it off to Thomas, and a flag comes in late at the end of the play. This one goes against Upper Arlington. If I'm not mistaken, is this the first penalty against Upper Arlington tonight?
Might be the second. Yeah.
Second penalty?
Yeah.
Get confirmation from down in the truck. Our statistician, Beth Competti, says 2 penalties, but, man, very clean game for the Golden Bears.
Yeah.
And block below the waist, number 8 of the defense. 15-yard penalty, which will result in a first down.
Not too often you get a block below the waist on defense.
I was going to give our official the benefit of the doubt there, but nevertheless, 15-yard penalty. The Gales, definitely needed that. Great job, by there.
Yeah. 1st and 10 for the Gales at the 30-yard line. Clock rolls at 10:59 and counting here in this fourth quarter. They trail at 24-6. Titan Johnson stays in at quarterback.
A little confusion in the huddle there, Jared. Looks like I think it's the play clock here.
Johnson rolling out to pass and runs into his own man and is just going to be taken down in the backfield by number 81 for the Golden Bears. That's Dominic Chivaroli.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Johnson there, I think he's just, as they say, maybe just seeing ghosts a little bit.
Yeah.
Anticipated that he was going to get hit and almost, ran into the defender when he could have just really stopped and planted his feet and looked to see if he could make a nice throw there. But, tough time, and then we're going to see Young come back into the game. So, Coach Carpenter not afraid to switch quarterbacks back and forth here.
2nd and long. Young looking to pass. He has pressure again and through the hands of his intended receiver. This time, Riley had a chance at it but couldn't haul it in.
Yeah, actually, it was a really nice throw there by Young under pressure. He was, had a couple defenders in his face and still delivered a catchable ball there, but unfortunately just slipped right through his hands. I'm sure I want to have that one back.
Brings up a 3rd down and 15. Clock stopped at 9:58.
And again, we see, the penalties here. This is a 3rd and 15 for Lancaster, and their offense really isn't equipped to convert these. I mean, it's tough for any offense to convert a 3rd and 15, but especially this one.
Double handoff again. This is Hamilton. Hamilton inside the 20. Look at the moves by Max Hamilton. Finally brought down at the 16-yard line. A first down, Gales.
And as I speak, 15-yard 3rd down, no problem. Just get it to Hamilton and let him make a couple moves. Fantastic run there by Hamilton on the double handoff again. And this time it's reversed. Usually it's been Hamilton handling to Sherrick. This time Sherrick handles it to Hamilton. Hamilton hits it downhill. Has a lot of speed and steam behind him. Breaks a couple tackles. Almost takes it to the house, but does get a first down for the Gales.
Same play. Why not? Hamilton inside the 5. Fighting, and into the end zone. Touchdown, Gales.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Go right back to the well. We've seen them do it a couple times, and actually I believe it was the same play call with that double handoff inside. But if it wasn't stopped the first time, go right back to the well, and they were able to get this one in the end zone. Great job there by Hamilton.
And the Lancaster coaches on the sideline are unsure. They haven't seen the signal for touchdown, but the FAR official did signal, and they're still questioning it. But they've put the ball back at the hash for the extra point.
Yeah, I think he scored. I think the coaches were trying to decide whether he got in or whether to go for 2. Or
now they finally get the signal.
I think they are going to go for 2, though.
And that certainly makes sense. They've had a tough time getting the ball in the end zone, the entire night tonight. So, why not take a chance to cut it to 10? That way you're, 2 scores behind, and see what happens.
Riley will reset to the right side. Young will keep it himself. Bulls his way forward, and he's in for the 2-point conversion.
Again, just fantastic, strong running there by Johnson. Puts his head down and just, won't be denied from 2 yards out. If he's got a head of steam and a couple lead blockers, he's going to find a way to get in the end zone.
So the Gales are within 10, which means a field goal or a touchdown and a field goal could tie it up. We've got an injury on the field, an Upper Arlington player in some big-time pain down inside the 2-yard line. Here's a replay of the touchdown run by Max Hamilton.
Yeah, great job by Hamilton. And you see the defender there. Ducks his head, and Hamilton is able to make him miss just enough, sidestep him, and fall forward for another 3-4 yards, which is the difference of him getting in the end zone and scoring for the Gales.
Lots of concern on the field right now as an Upper Arlington player down inside the 5-yard line. That's right about where Curtis Young was just running straight forward over top of guys. So not sure what this injury could be. And so we wish, obviously, this player well.
Yeah, I didn't see the number there, Jared, but it looked like he might have been grabbing his shoulder. So we'll wait to see what happens. Certainly hope that he's okay, and looks like he's being helped to his feet as I speak.
That's good news, and that's 38. That's Zane Ritchie. We've called his number a lot tonight.
Yeah, he's played a fantastic game, but his helmet is off, and he does look to be in a lot of pain. But, again, he has not been afraid to stick his nose in there all night and made several great plays, a lot in the backfield. Young was able to get in the end zone there, but it's been a challenge, and Ritchie's made it tough on him all night.
Good look at the crowd here on the home side for the Golden Gales. Nice crowd. They've drawn some good crowds all year, and of course, you see the cheerleaders there. It's a junior high night for cheerleaders. They've got the cheerleaders from Thomas Ewing and General Sherman. So it's an army of cheerleaders down on the sideline.
You can never have enough cheerleaders there. No, it's really nice that they're able to do that. Again, get some excitement for the younger girls there to be out on Friday night under the lights, being able to cheer with their older cheerleading counterparts, and just a nice gesture to be able to do that.
Philip Slater on to kick it off after the touchdown and 2-point conversion for the Gales. Slater again puts a boom into it. It'll be into the end zone for a touchback. So Upper Arlington comes back out with a 10-point lead. Gales still in it. If they can get a stop here, anything can happen.
They are, and I'm sure this Golden Bear offensive staff is telling their team that they're going to want to try to close the door on this Gales football team. A drive here and a score to really, they're hoping they can take the life out of Lancaster and really put this game away.
Levy hands it off first man through. That's Gressick. I believe that's his second carry of this half. Gets him out to the 25, a 5-yard gain.
And Gressick not a big guy, 5'9", 188, but you typically don't see guys that small playing that role of the dive and the triple option offense, but he's done a really nice job of it tonight. When he has been handed the ball, he's ran really hard and made positive yards when he's been able to get it.
Bring up a 2nd and 5 for the Golden Bears.
Double tight 3 backs again.
Levy this time keeps it himself and just shy of the first down up near the 30.
Last couple drives that Upper Arlington's really milking the clock. They're snapping the ball inside of 5 seconds.
3rd down and 1 for Upper Arlington. Dalton Golden, I was just getting ready to say, I wonder if they think about bringing Golden in here to stuff up that middle, and here he comes. He'll line up right at nose guard, right over top of the center on 3rd down and 1.
Wise decision there.
And he completely pushes it back, and Dalton Golden with the stop.
Free.
And the fumble. They fumbled the football, and the Gales have it.
Wow.
How about that?
You talk about blowing a play completely
He is a strong
up.
man.
Whoa.
Dalton Golden, 73, 6 foot, 350 pounds, and full of strength.
And he just pushed the center back into the
Completely
quarterback.
back.
Yeah,
Watch this.
You see it right there. He pushes the lineman back into the quarterback, which pushes him back into the ball, the intended ball carrier, and they're not even able to get the handoff there. It's a fumble, and Lancaster recovers. What a fantastic play. Awesome job.
Keep that man in mind when we come to our players of the game
Oh,
in
yeah.
just a little bit.
Oh, yeah. My word.
Good call, Coach Stewart.
Wrong sport, though. 1st and 10. Here's Hamilton again. Why not? Hamilton down inside the 20. Still on his feet. We said he's not very big, but he will not go down.
No. And that's the thing. When you run a sweep like that, you hope that the lineman can get some of their men on the ground and get Hamilton in space, which they were able to do there. He makes a nice cut up the field, able to convert the first down there, and the Gales are in business. Again, they're only down by 2 scores. 10-point game here, and a lot of time left here in the fourth quarter.
Unfortunately for the Gales, he lost a shoe, and he has to come off for a play. That was 3 offensive plays in a row that Hamilton ran for a good yardage.
That's right.
7:26 and counting here in the fourth quarter. Gales trail at 24-14, but the momentum completely on the Golden Gales sideline. Curtis Young tucks it and runs. Young inside the 10, inside the 5, still on his feet. Curtis Young into the end zone, touchdown Gales.
Wow.
Strong run, would not be denied. Great job by Young.
Wow.
And we talked about it, Jerry. When he gets ahead of steam, we'll watch her on the foot. He gets ahead of steam, and there's not anybody bringing him down, let alone
at the 6-yard line. Watch this.
He just keeps it churning.
Oh, did his butt touch right there?
Looked like the
but
right
there's no
cheek
replay
might have been down.
School.
That's right. But credit again to Young. He didn't stop moving. His legs were moving the entire time. You've got to get the guy on the ground. He gets the ball in the end zone.
Philip Slater,
Great
the
job.
extra point, brings him to within 3, 24-21. We've got a ball game at Fulton Field.
Sure do. And that's a credit again that the Lancaster football team here, they continue to fight. Things don't look great. Offense hasn't moved the ball very well. The Golden Bears have put together some really nice drives getting the ball in the end zone. But Lancaster just keeps chopping wood. They keep fighting. They stay in this football game. And you get a big turnover, you get a score, and you're right here.
I've noticed a lot more energy on the Lancaster sideline even before this little comeback in the second half versus the first half. Not much energy at all in the first half. I don't know whatever happened at halftime or since then. They've really started to show some more juice here on the sidelines.
Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, let's watch that play one more time. My goodness, again, you see Young here. Once he gets it going, and they try to take him low. There's 3 guys on him trying to pull him down. Another guy comes at the end, pushes him down.
How does he not completely
go
down
I don't
right
understand it. That is just a really strong kid. I can't say it enough.
The laws of physics, I think, would make him go down.
When you've got one guy pulling you down and another guy comes in to push down on your shoulder, yet you just keep churning your legs and you move forward into the end zone. Wow. Great job.
2 seniors making plays there. One on defense with Dalton Golden and on offense with Curtis Young. On the kickoff here. Good return, but a good job closing it in really quickly for the Golden Gales. That's 13, Sam Fink.
Yeah, and Fink's done a really nice job on special teams. We saw him getting, very close to a couple punt blocks earlier, but that time, those are the toughest tackles to make sometimes when you've got a shifty runner there like Cannon, and he's done a great job tonight for the Bears, but Fink again able to, break down, corral him to the sideline, and get him on the ground so he doesn't convert that into a really big play.
7:04 to play in the ball game. Upper Arlington leads Lancaster 24-21. Golden Bears with the football. Seems like just minutes ago it was 24-3. Levy looking to pass. He's got pressure. Tucks it and runs and makes something out of nothing there, all the way out of bounds near the 35-yard line.
Great pressure there up the field by Tristan Rothenberger. Nice job. Again, he was just pushing his line. He was being blocked by an offensive line there, but continued to push. Forced Levy in an uncomfortable position out of the pocket. He made some positive yards, but again, didn't have the time to deliver a strike down the field and hit a big play for the Bears.
2nd down and 4 for Upper Arlington. Clock stopped at 6:57. One back to each side of Levy. Gressick and Reynolds. Levy keeps it himself and gets the first down. Titan Johnson with the stop up across the 40.
Fantastic job there by the Bears offensive line. Just everyone blocked down and created an incredible seam there for Levy to just run through as he pulled that football out from the dive man. Again, those plays right there are, again, the execution, why the Bears have been able to be so successful tonight. Little plays like that, but when you have your offensive lineman getting the push there, quarterback makes the right read, everybody makes the right play, and then you get a first down. Keep the chains moving.
Levy. This time hands it off. Gressick up the middle. Not much there. One, maybe two.
And Dalton Golden has just checked back into the football game. I'm not a smart man, but I think I would probably have him in the football game a lot more if he's making plays like he just did.
Yeah, he's definitely a player.
Yeah.
But at 6 foot and 350, he's going to need some breathers.
That's right, yeah.
He plays every snap on offense.
I'm sure, yeah.
Which is what's allowed him, give him those breaks, what's allowed him to come in fresh.
That's right.
And make some big stops on defense.
Exactly right, Jared.
2nd down and 8. Looking for a big stop here are the Golden Gales. Here comes Golden on the pressure, and a good job on the outside. 13, Sam Fink.
Great play again by Fink. We've called his name quite a few times on the special team side, and now he makes a great play on defense. Perfect timing there. Just time that hit up as soon as the ball came. We'll watch it here on the replay here. And again, Levy does a nice job, delivers a strike, but Fink is just right there. Times it up. Boom.
Yeah.
And credit the receiver for holding on, but great play there by Fink. And credit our folks in the booth there. Again, great replay. Shane's done a nice job.
Shane Messina has been all over the replays tonight. There he is. And Matt Taylor Kia thanks you as well. They're getting a lot of mentions tonight for all these replays. We've got a timeout on the field as the Upper Arlington Golden Bears face a 3rd down and 5 with a 3-point lead and 4:48 to play in the ball game.
Yeah, crucial 3rd down here for the Bears. I think they recognize it, want to take some time to talk it over and make sure they've got the right call here to convert. Because if Lancaster's able to stop them here, get the ball back with the momentum, and has a chance to go down and score a touchdown and take the lead for the first time this game.
Look at that. Little water boy bringing out the water to the officials. And there's Gusto Gale on the sideline. And there's a look inside the truck. That's Beth Campetti, our statistician. Best in the business.
Not an easy job that Beth has.
No,
she
not
does
at all.
A fantastic job every week.
A lifesaver for those of us who cannot do math.
And that's Bob Campetti stealing Beth's pretzel there. Very salty pretzel. Just how Beth likes him. Here we go, 3rd down and 5. Levy out of the shotgun, looking to pass, has pressure. Levy going to have to tuck and run, and it's a good decision by him, but I don't know. It's going to be close.
I think he's short.
It's decision time here. I don't know.
Looks like he's going to be about 2 or 3 yards short.
According to the guy on this side, he's more like 4 yards short.
Wow.
Yeah, he must have stepped out a little earlier than it may have seemed when he went to the ground.
Yeah, it's 4th and 4 here. And being on their own side of the 50, you think they're punting here. Absolutely.
Yeah, you've got to punt this one. Again, the Bears still have the lead. They may not have the momentum right now, but they still have the lead. They've got to play smart football. Trust your defense. Go ahead and punt this ball. Hopefully you can pin Lancaster back and make them earn it if they're going to go down and score.
Max Hamilton back to receive the punt. A nice high punt. Not really returnable as it goes out of bounds. Looked like right about the 15-yard line. Well, in that situation, Max Hamilton chomping at the bit.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure he wants to be the hero, and with his talent and speed, he certainly had the capability to do that. So,
Gusto pointing, hey, here's the ball. Come get it. And Cliff Reynolds there picking up the football. Cliff and some of his counterparts started the Lancaster Gales Youth Football Association last year in conjunction with Lancaster High School football, and just an outstanding league. They play here at Fulton Field on Sundays, Saturdays and Sundays. They're in a league with some teams from Pickerington, getting these guys, these young kids ready for when they get up here with Coach Carpenter, and he's done an outstanding job. Here's Hamilton, and this time the Golden Bears snuff it out.
And those youth programs, as you were talking, just finish your thought, Jared, just vital to the strength of a football program. We talk about the numbers and we talk about the strength that Lancaster has and so many good football players, and guys step in their junior and senior year and haven't played much, you haven't heard much from them at all, but they step in, don't miss a beat, and play great football. It's because they started young. And they had a good experience in the youth football program. Were able to continue that into their older years.
And my son played last year as a sixth grader in that league. It was their first year, and they were running the wing tee to get them ready for this level at sixth grade.
Wow. Yep. And that's important.
Yeah. After that last play, Max Hamilton was helped up by some Golden Bears. That's very good sportsmanship out of these two teams. I tell you what, there's not been any chippiness out here tonight like sometimes you see.
No, not at all. And that's, the Lancaster program, they've had a great, class personified, of course, and Upper Arlington as well throughout the season. Just, really classy programs. You see a lot of that in this league. Just good kids. Good kids out here competing, playing strong football, but respecting one another and playing well.
Big third down right here. 3rd and 10 for the Gales. Young back to pass. Across the middle, it's intercepted. Intercepted by 17, Liam Keithler. Keithler coming to the near side to the 10, to the 5, dives for the pylon.
Wow.
And they will say, I don't know, they're going to discuss it.
I think he hit the pylon.
I think he did too. It is a touchdown.
Wow.
Once again, Young looking for Christian Riley just a little bit over his hands. And Leatham, watch this.
We'll see here on the replay. It looks like it just sails on him just a bit. And he's open on the play. I think it was the right play call. He had it. But again, credit to Keither here. Oh, my gosh, what a great return. He turns into a offensive football player as soon as he catches the ball. Makes a couple nice moves, gets to the sideline, outruns the quarterback and Dalton Golden there, and just dives just enough to get into the end zone. Fantastic return there right after the interception.
What camera work right down there by Tom Russo. I think it was a good call. I don't know if he touched the sideline, but it was a good call. He did definitely get the pylon.
Yeah, and we saw it right there up close and personal. Tom Russo and Jim Spires, our two lone cameramen tonight, just doing a great job. Great job.
Yoakum's extra point is up, and it is good to give the Upper Arlington Bears a 31-21 lead with 3:45 to play in the ball game.
Yeah, and those are the things, Lancaster, they were so close, and it just, just that little bit of execution. You had such good momentum going, and they've put together a couple real nice drives, and it just takes one time the quarterback, unfortunately, just sailed on him just a bit. But Young had him open. It was a good play call, but it only takes that much to be off. Gets an interception, comes back for a pick six the other way, and unfortunately now you're down by 10 as opposed to just being down 3.
Yeah. So now the Gales need to get a quick strike if they still want a chance in this one. With 3:45 to go, down by 10. As the Bears come back out to kick off. Check some other scores. Harvest Prep leads Columbus Academy 33-17. Canal Winchester over Grove City 38-7. Pick North now leads Dublin Coffman 22-21 in the third quarter. Pick Central over Hilliard Davidson 28-7. It's Olentangy Liberty over Groveport Madison. They pulled it closer. Now that's a final actually, 21-14. Groveport Madison loses their first one of the year. Waverly over Manda Clear Creek 48-13. It is Fisher Catholic in a final beating Grove City Christian 41-0. Bexley over Liberty Union 21-12. That's a final. As a squib kick going to be taken at the 30-yard line by number 17 for the Gales. That's Dominic Carpenter. It's Bloom Carroll over Circleville. That's also a final, 49-12. Taze Valley in a final over Fairfield Union, 40-0. And that's all the scores we have reported as of right now.
Carpenter did a nice job to field that kick. It was really cooking.
It was.
Yeah. I mean, he put his leg into it on that squib, but he fielded it with no problem and got it forward.
Coming up next week, we've got Bloom Carroll at Amanda Clear Creek in a big Mid-State League Buckeye Division battle. Both those teams will come in undefeated in their league, in league play. But the Aces will be coming off of a loss to Waverly, so we'll see what they come back with. Here's Riley on the reception from Curtis Young, and he's all the way across midfield down to the 45, first down.
Boy, and the strength of Young shown again there. He was almost pulled down there by the defender in the backfield, but stays up, makes him miss and still is able to deliver a football and get a first down here.
Young working out of the shotgun. He's primarily been under center when he's been in there. Nice grab there, bringing it down. That's Owen Snyder. A gain of about 5 or 6 on the play. Clock will continue to roll, though. Lancaster still with 3 timeouts. 3:11 to play in the ball game.
Yeah, but they're going to try to conserve everything that they get here, so hurry up is certainly understood in this situation.
And it's intercepted, thrown right to number 8, I believe it is. That's Marco Landolfi for the Upper Arlington Bears. Just unfortunate for the Gales.
Yeah, I think he was thinking to throw to a spot there as opposed to a man, and I don't know if it was a miscommunication or whatnot, but again, the defender's in the right spot, hits him right in the numbers, and another interception here. Before we move over to the next play, let's thank another one of our sponsors. Thanks to Larry Tipton and the gang at Buffalo Wild Wings for great food, great service, and the best sports viewing in town. It's all at Buffalo Wild Wings in the Plaza Shopping Center at North Memorial Drive. And remember, all of our football games will be televised with their instant replay on the big screens immediately after the game at Buffalo Wild Wings Lancaster location.
And I think that a lot of these students and players and families head down to Buffalo Wild Wings on Friday nights to watch the games. Last week, the Fisher game and Bern Union was absolutely packed inside Buffalo Wild Wings with a lot of Fisher faithful down there watching that game.
Yeah. It's just a neat experience.
It is.
When you're a high school kid, I certainly remember, if the few of our games that were on the cable station there, we were always excited to see those the next Saturday morning. So it's nice that they could see them right after the game. Really cool.
Coach Carpenter going to call one of his timeouts at 2:49 to play in the ball game. It'll give us a chance to. I think he called a timeout. Yes, he did. Let's go ahead and get to our players of the game. Marion, while I read this offensive player of the game spot, I'll let you think about who you want to. I know that the Gales have had some guys. Curtis Young has had some mistakes, but he's played hard. Max Hamilton. So I'll let you think about that while I read this sponsor. Tonight's offensive player of the game is brought to you by Fairfield National Bank. Fairfield National Bank knows that when life gets real, you need a banker who cares about your story. Take Lauren, for example. After her father passed away, Lauren knew her mother should move in with her, but she also knew mom needed help getting her finances in order. That's why they sat down with one of our bankers. Together, they got the attention and accounts they needed to navigate the transition, and Lauren found free time to finally learn to bake her mom's favorite pie. We call that banking built for your life. Fairfield National Bank is a division of the Park National Bank, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Well, that's a tough one. Again, we've had a lot of good performances tonight. I think I would give the player of the game to Curtis Young. He's had a couple of mistakes. Of course, we've seen those documented, the couple interceptions. But to come off the bench, play quarterback, and really spark that drive to get Lancaster back in the football game, I still think that's a great credit. And I would credit him with the offensive player of the game, because he's really done a nice job, again, keeping the Gales in the football game. Looks like we have a fumble here.
Upper Arlington got it.
Did they get it?
Yep.
Tristan Rothenberger on the stop behind the line of scrimmage, and Lancaster will call their second timeout. So again, I couldn't agree more. Yes, there were some mistakes, but that's a tough position to come into. He hasn't played quarterback all year. He comes in, he sparks some drives. Yeah, there were some mistakes, but how about the effort that he showed, especially on that touchdown run?
That's as hard as a run as you'll see all year. I mean, he really just so impressive. The strength, the determination. Not only that, but the two-point conversion as well, where he just bowled his way in there. I mean, he did a great job. It's just, again, had a couple passes just unfortunately inaccurate, and one may have been a miscommunication. I'm not sure. Unfortunate, but again, had he not provided that spark, I don't know if Lancaster would have even been that close in the first place. So
congratulations, number 14, Curtis Young, our Fairfield National Bank offensive player of the game. We will get to our defensive player of the game after this next play. 3rd down and 9 for Upper Arlington. 2:42 to play in the ball game. They lead it by 10, 31-21. Levy hands it off. No, he took the handoff, actually.
Oh.
And Curtis Young on the stop for the Gales, and they'll call their final timeout as the ball spotted will be down at the 50-yard line. It'll bring up a 4th down and 9 in a punting situation for Upper Arlington. Tonight's Defensive Player of the Game for the Gales is brought to you by the Edwards Insurance Agency, specializing in providing personalized insurance coverage that meets the needs of our individual clients. Contact Todd or Dale Edwards today.
What do you think, Jared?
I got to go with Dalton Golden. I know he does not play a lot of defense, but the couple plays that he came in and played, he just completely blew it up.
Oh, my gosh, yes. Yeah, I'm glad to hear you say that. Again, he doesn't play a whole lot of plays, as you said, but when you're able to come in for just a few short plays and make the impact that he had.
Yes.
I mean, he forced a turnover single-handedly from the defensive tackle position.
Yeah.
Just lined up over the center, bowled him into the quarterback. The quarterback ran into the ball carrier, fumble on the play. They recover it, and Lancaster got the ball going in. Great job.
There he is, 73, Dalton Golden. Congratulations. He is our Defensive Player of the Game for the Gales, brought to you by Edwards Insurance Agency. 4th down and 9 for Upper Arlington. They will punt. Max Hamilton stands at his 20-yard line. Another good high punt. Hamilton will call for the fair catch and make it at the 19. Definitely what Upper Arlington wants there is to not give Hamilton a chance to return.
That's right. And not only that, it was a good execution again because the punt was high enough for Hamilton to not be able to have a return. And if you notice there, Lancaster was really sending the house. They were trying to block that punt, and they have a bunch of tough guys coming up the middle there. I think Curtis Young might have even been one of them. They stood there. The Bears stood there, held their blocks, able to let that punt get off. They don't get a block punt, and they're able to play defense and force the Gales to go 81, 82 yards if they want to score a touchdown here.
Titan Johnson back in at quarterback for the Gales. They trail by 10, 2:27 to go. No timeouts. They're going to have to get to the line quickly or get some outs here out of bounds. Johnson looking to pass. Nobody open, so he tucks it and runs, and not a bad decision. He slides down. I don't think he had enough for the 1st down. Clock will continue to run.
Yeah, but it was a good decision. Again, you had 3 long passes there, or routes rather, and he tucked in a run because nobody was available.
This time, Christian Riley. Oh, they'll call it a catch. Josh, you're right down there. What do you think?
I don't know. I need another look at that. It looked like it went through the breadbasket.
Yeah. I think we might have. We're going to have a replay here in a minute. Here it is. Yeah, that definitely bounced.
Yep.
But they give him the reception. On 1st and 10, Johnson again to Riley, and this one's incomplete through the hands of Christian Riley. So 2nd and 10 for Lancaster at the 36. Is that Johnson? Johnson came all the way to the side to get the play, and I think they had to tie a shoe or something.
Yes, it was a shoe tying session there.
Play clock down to 14. Game clock is stopped at 1:52. A whistle and a flag. And a false start on Lancaster.
Dead ball, false start. Number 73 of the offense. 5-yard penalty, remains 3rd down.
That's our Defensive Player of the Game. He got a little excited there to go out and pass block.
Looks like some confusion in the formation here.
Johnson hits this man. This is Max Hamilton. And behind the original line of scrimmage, he'll be brought down. Actually, they'll give him forward progress up to about the 37. Clock will continue to roll at 1:36. 3rd down and 9. Titan Johnson just going to be slammed down in the backfield by number 66 for the Golden Bears. That's David Adams.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate circumstance there. Receivers were very slow to get into the routes on that one. So Titan Johnson, again, while he was able to set up, really, didn't have a chance to hit anyone because they weren't out of the route yet.
Johnson's pass incomplete to Max Hamilton, and that will turn it over on downs back to Upper Arlington. And with no timeouts, the Bears will just come out and kneel on it a couple times, and they will go home with a victory. And That's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. You never want to see that, as Max Hamilton was walking off the field. Now Coach Carpenter going all the way out onto the field to find out what the call was.
I think it might have been on Coach Carpenter, actually.
Oh, was it?
That's why he's having a conversation with him right now.
You better be careful and get back.
Yeah.
We'll hear the call here on our Don's Furniture and Mattress mic'd up ref. So we did not hear it, but you could see that it was unsportsmanlike on Lancaster. They didn't say who it was on, but based on the reaction of Coach Carpenter, we got to think it was on him.
Yeah, and I think
dead ball.
Here we go.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, number 15.
Oh, it was on
team.
Max Hamilton.
15-yard penalty, first down.
Okay, yeah. Well, Hamilton and Coach Carpenter were having a discussion there, so he might have heard Max Hamilton say something. It's unfortunate.
And maybe that's what Carpenter was mad about.
Exactly.
Maybe it was the two of them having a discussion,
right?
And the official threw the flag, and maybe that's why Coach Carpenter went out. He wanted to tell him, hey, that's our conversation.
Exactly.
We were talking to you.
Yep.
I think you guys are spot on that.
2nd and 10. That's not right.
Either way, it looks like the Bears are content to take
they're just
a couple
going to kneel
knees,
on it.
Yeah, get out of here with a victory.
So the Bears kneel on it, and they will not have to take another snap, as they will head to midfield to shake hands. And we will, before we get to the final stats, go down to Josh Messerly one more time. And Josh, I tell you, what a comeback for the Gales, but just a couple turnovers, big time costly for them.
Yeah, too many mistakes tonight for Lancaster, unfortunately. Decent turnovers, really much like we saw them in week 1. They got the comeback started a little bit too late and maybe weren't quite ready to play this game at the beginning. That's stuff that's got to be cleaned up as OCC Ohio play starts next week, as the games down the road get really tough.
We've got our final stats coming up, brought to you by Dr. Jeffrey Wilson, DDS. With over 35 years of experience, Dr. Jeffrey Wilson and his staff are committed to providing the best dental services to their patients. Happy patients make perfect smiles, and Dr. Jeffrey Wilson and his staff will make sure your dental health and comfort is their top concern. Now accepting new patients, Dr. Wilson is currently located in Bremen, but will be expanding and bringing his years of experience to Lancaster this fall. His office can be reached at 740-569-7563 to make an appointment. And there you go. There's the final stats, Marion.
Yeah, and when you look at it, Lancaster, they did very nice job on the offensive side of the football, particularly running the football, ran the ball well. But, again, execution comes down to it. They had a couple penalties that stalled some drives, and then those 2 big turnovers, the interceptions, again, just, came back to bite them. When you're playing a good football team like Upper Arlington is, you just can't afford mistakes like that. Conversely, Upper Arlington, played pretty near a flawless football game. They had a couple turnovers, but again, they weren't in really crucial positions. But when they needed to execute, particularly in the first half, they did, and they got out to a big lead, and that just ended up being the difference. Lancaster's comeback at the end was unfortunately just a little too late.
Let's preview our game next week. Go down to Josh for thoughts on Bloom Carroll at Amanda Clear Creek.
That one should be a great one next week at the pit. We saw Amanda Clear Creek in a game a couple weeks ago against Liberty Union. Maybe not look their best at times, but I expect that they will have a lot of energy having that home game next week against Bloom Carroll. Excited to see them for the first time this season as well.
Josh, thanks for your work tonight down on the sideline. Great job tonight.
My pleasure. Thanks, guys.
Marion, good job up here tonight with you. Fun working with you again.
Thank you as well, sir. Always appreciate it.
I want to say thanks to our crew, our producer-director, Bob Campetti. On graphics was Donnie Ziegfeld. Replays tonight all over it, Shane Messina, our statistician, Beth Campetti. And on cameras tonight, Jimmy Spires and Tom Russo. Once again, your final score, Upper Arlington 31, Lancaster 21. For our entire Interphase Video Productions crew, and Josh Messerly and Marion Royster, I'm Jared Stewart. Have yourselves a great night, everybody.
IVP Sports presents the Buffalo Wild Wings High School Football Game of the Week. Brought to you by Fairfield Medical Center. Ohio University Lancaster, Standing Stone Bank, North Body Shop, Dawn's Furniture, South Central Power, the Fairfield County Board of Developmental Disabilities, Fairfield National Bank, Jeffrey Wilson DDS, Matt Taylor Kia, Fairfield County Adam H., the Frankie Smith Funeral Home, Fairfield County Parks, the Edwards Insurance Agency, Dagger Law, the Carriage Company, Connor Insurance Agency, Personal Touch Party Rentals and Events, the Huddle Tire Company, Fairfield Federal, Lines Auto Service, Sheridan Funeral Home, and Buckeye Lake Marina. This has been an IVP Sports production.